Everybody, Mike Missanelli Show. How's everybody doing out there? It's a beautiful day. Oh, my God. It's going to be 80 degrees today. What's happening to this Philadelphia area weather-wise? You got a few good days of weather coming up, and it's unfortunate the Phillies are not at home, but they're in Toronto tonight to play the Toronto Blue Jays, and they are trying to break a 4-game losing streak, and it looks like Bryce Harper will be back tonight. And the Toronto Blue Jays are surprisingly having a decent year. They're 31-28. They are in second place in American League East to the Yankees. Good record at home, 20-12. So tonight, Bowden Francis, a 29-year-old right-hander who's very mediocre, against Christopher Sanchez. And the Phillies are a whopping minus 150 favorites tonight to break that losing streak. How about that, folks? We'll talk about that. We got Vic Fangio coming on today at about noontime. You don't want to miss Fangio. I wonder if he'll get grilled about Bryce Huff, who that trade, by the way, is now official to the 49ers. So we'll follow that as well. But it looks like Christopher Sanchez gets the start tonight to break the losing streak with Bryce Harper back. Bill Colarulo is here. Ray Dunn is here. How you feeling about tonight, Billy?
You told me this morning before the show what the odds were for
minus
tonight.
150.
And I'm a little surprised by it. I mean, I know the pitcher for the Blue Jays isn't, an
Bowden
ace.
Francis, 2-6 with a 5.04 ERA.
Yeah, so Francis isn't an ace by any means, but Sanchez, great pitcher, but is he going to be able to do it on the road? He's been better on the road this year than he was last year, but coming off of that series that they just had against the Brewers, I'm surprised that the Phillies would be this big of favorites against a team that's not bad. They're above 500. We've been saying the Phillies against above 500 teams, 13-15. Well, hopefully that changes after winning another series against the Toronto Blue Jays. But I'm excited for tonight. No Zach Wheeler probably this series because of the baby. Is that what's going on? His wife's in labor. Ray, did she have the baby yet?
She has not yet had the baby, but she stays away from being in labor.
Because
maybe at this point.
He was supposed to pitch in this series, was my understanding. But now they'll go Sanchez. Mick Abel will be on the mound at some point in this series.
Thursday afternoon for Mick Abel.
So that'll be exciting. So I guess tomorrow maybe – who would pitch tomorrow then if it's not Wheeler? Do we know?
Is it Luzardo?
Luzardo just pitched on Saturday.
Let me just check and see
because it was supposed to be Sanchez, Wheeler, Abel was my understanding.
Uh-huh.
So
hold on a second. I got your schedule right here, and it looks like it's going to be
Sanchez, Abel, Luzardo.
Okay. Yeah. So they moved Abel up.
Oh, okay. Abel's pitching the night game on Wednesday. So Luzardo goes for the afternoon game at 3:07
Gotcha.
Against Chris Bassett, and then Berrios pitches against Abel. This will be a really interesting test for Abel on the road in a night game.
It is going to be an interesting test, and the issue is we don't want to ruin his trade value.
No, he's got to pitch well.
Right? You need him to pitch well for many reasons.
The pressure is on. I was reading an interesting story on Bryce Harper today, and I started thinking of you, Bill. Bryce Harper apparently is he's all in on health food.
He's a smart man.
Yeah, I want to find this story here. I had it up here.
I have it in front of me, too,
you do.
from Scott Lauber.
Yeah, it's a Scott Lauber story. Let's go read some of it, what he does for his routine.
All right, so it says here, this is a Q&A with Scott Lauber of the
Here, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. All right. So they go over his routine. I didn't know any of this, really. I didn't know he was this obsessed with health food. And so he says he's now seeing holistic doctors. But he also is devoted to what's called clean eating. He likes everything farm-raised and organic, not store-bought. All right, so where do you get just farm-raised and organic without going to the store? Like, I thought if you went to Whole Foods, you could pull that off.
You could get it at Whole Foods.
What is that? That come online?
No, you could
buy
get
it
that
online.
You could get it at
He says
Whole
not
Foods.
store-bought.
Yeah, he doesn't buy it.
Farm-raised and organic, not store-bought.
Yeah, but you can get farm-raised and organic at Whole Foods, but he chooses not to.
Okay.
He orders it online.
Okay. He avoids seed oils. What does that mean? Like sesame oil?
I guess.
Like sesame oil.
I mean, I'm not this big of a
What's
freak.
the problem with sesame oil? It's good in Asian cuisine, isn't it? Sesame oil.
Okay. No, seed oils.
Like what?
It's oil extracted from the seed of plants, commonly known as vegetable oil. So he doesn't probably cook his food in vegetable oils.
Okay, but he says use sesame seed oil.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Because that's a seed oil. Anyway, drinks raw milk.
Yeah, that's a little dangerous.
And this is to its extreme. Single origin coffee.
Yeah, what is that?
Single origin coffee. I guess it comes from the same bean, and the same instead of all beans being roasted and mixed, it comes from a single origin, a crop of coffee beans.
Now, the crazy thing is, you said this reminded you.
I'm not done.
What else has he got?
I'm not done. He goes to a Utah-based company and gets grass-fed whey protein. Now, tell me what that is. What is grass-fed whey protein?
I think it's
from New Zealand. He gets it.
I think it's exactly what it sounds like. So, like, whey protein is a powder supplement, but some people want the grass-fed.
What's whey? Whey is a derivative of a dairy product, isn't it?
I believe you are correct.
So it would be grass-fed cow that produces the whey, and
Correct.
that would be the protein, right?
Yeah.
See, I know more about this than you.
You do.
You're putting whey protein. You don't even know what it is.
I just put whatever my wife gets.
Okay.
So I think we actually have whey protein in the house.
He also bakes bread with kamut flour.
Yeah, what is that?
Go ahead. Go look it up. Kamut, which contains less gluten and more protein than regular wheat. See, you ought to be taking notes here.
I'm not. See, now you're realizing I'm not as crazy as you think that I am when it comes to this.
I didn't realize he was this obsessed. This is like a TB12 type of situation.
Yeah, I'm seeing that kamut flour is apparently an ancient grain that contains less gluten and more protein than regular wheat. Whoa, sign me up. I'm going to look into this. I wonder if you could make pizza with kamut flour.
Is it called kamut or kamut?
Not sure. Anybody know out there?
Kamut. How do you pronounce that? Kamut? What do you get kamut out of that?
Not sure. Is it kamut?
It's got
kamut? Whatever it is.
Does it kamut? Does it spell M-O-A-T? Like
less gluten, more protein. Sign me up.
All right. In any event, he has a doctor in Utah that he works with. The doctor went to Johns Hopkins Medical School, went through the whole route of being a really good doctor and everything else, and kind of went the other way and started doing holistic medicine. He's incredible. I do blood work every 3 months, understanding what my body is going through, what it's doing if I'm going through sickness, if I have mold, all these things in your body.
So he's interesting. He's kind of going off the reservation a little bit.
How come you haven't done the blood test every 3 months to see if there's any toxins in you?
I would be interested in that. But I went through a phase, I'm going to say maybe about 10 years ago now, my daughter's about 10, where I started having delivered to the house from Lancaster, from the Amish, raw milk, grass-fed meats, free-range eggs, all these things.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not recommending that people drink the raw milk because you do have to be careful. I believe the CDC or whoever recommends against it because of the fact that it has all the bacteria in it. But I did do some of this back in the day.
You did?
Yeah, and it did not help me keep my hair, though. So I'm not sure if that is really that helpful to
All right, let me just go on here. And this is not the theme of our show by any stretch of imagination. I just think it's really interesting pertaining to Bill and what Bill is lacking now, knowing that what Bryce Harper is going through.
I know. I'm feeling
the question is from Scott Lauber, who did this interview. You've said you want to play into your 40s. You're only 32, so there's a long way to go. But when we talk about longevity in modern sports, Tom Brady is the gold standard. And then he brings up the TB12 method. Here's Bryce's answer. I want this to be out there. What works for me might not work for somebody else. And so the things I do for myself, I believe in wholeheartedly. And someone else might not do that, and that's okay. If someone wants to eat Panda Express and do that, totally fine. I don't care. And I'm not just saying Panda or whatever, but that's okay. That's fine. You do your thing. And if you're 80-20 and you're 80% good and 20% bad, great.
So he likes the 80-20 rule. But here's where I disagree entirely with Bryce. this whole thing about the 80-20 and all, he starts this interview saying that at times he likes to indulge and he can't wait to have tiramisu in Toronto. If you're going to indulge, tiramisu's where you're going? That's the most overrated dessert going these days.
All right. Well, anyway, I just thought I would throw that out there to the people. Since Bryce is back tonight, he's followed his health regimen. So don't worry. He'll be back stronger than ever.
You interested in any of this? You going to?
Absolutely not. 610-632-0975. I had a cheesesteak and a slice of pizza yesterday for lunch.
I'm sure Bryce would approve.
Heavy gluten, by the way.
You're on the Joel Embiid diet, not the Bryce Harper diet.
That is correct. Mike Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Connor Thomas.
Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5. The Fanaticals back at it tonight. Talking about Bryce Harper's eating habits. I'm fascinated by this kind of stuff. I really am. He really, he went all out to reveal that I've never heard any of this stuff before. And in this interview, he went all out to talk about it. He says you have to understand what you're putting in your system. Bill, you know that.
They say disease enters through the mouth, Mike.
I get a lot of things from local farming. Pennsylvania has such good local farming with Lancaster County being right there. So we get a lot of our dairy products and our egg products. Anything off the farm, that's what I want. They really understand, especially in Lancaster.
I just said it. That's where we used to get it delivered from.
How to treat their animals and the way they process their stuff and everything else. I do really good on beef. I love beef products, so my body amplifies when I eat beef. It really does. And so for my blood work and everything else, I can see that. Now, I'll give you something that I do in the morning, he says. I drink matcha in the morning. Have you ever had matcha?
I have not.
That's that green powder that you mix in with
I have not had that.
You make a shake out, right? You know matcha?
I know matcha. Never had it.
Never had it?
No.
Yeah, they
I paid for it before. I've never had it.
You can get it at Starbucks. Actually, it's that green powder they put in the
Pick your favorite coffee shop across the city. You'll probably find
a finely ground powder of green tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he drinks matcha in the morning, a coffee in the afternoon, but in the morning, he likes a beef meatball. That's got to be Metagon meatball. Yeah. I do those throughout the week. If I do ground beef in the morning, pasture-raised eggs, sourdough toast, and some avocado with fruit. That's his routine.
Big avocado
beef meatball.
Fan. Big avocado fan.
I know you like avocado.
Yeah, Bryce Harper is missing out on the PVB meatball. You got to go pork veal beef.
Oh no, he stays with beef. So how do you feel about a bit ground beef, a little fatty? Don't you think?
Yeah, but I bet you I would venture if Bryce Harper is into the raw milks and the grass-fed beef, he doesn't care about fat. See, there's certain diets that don't care about the fat. He probably views fat as being not bad for you, and he focuses more on the other things. He wants organic.
He kills his craving with fruit. High sugar content.
It is. He's all natural is what he wants.
High sugar.
I can't believe
fruit.
He exactly where I used to do it in Lancaster, and you would get it.
Who knew you were kindred spirits with Bryce?
I know. Bryce should talk about it. But here's the issue, and Bryce probably runs into the same problem. I believe Bryce lives in Haddonfield, New Jersey, unless he's moved. It's illegal to buy raw milk in Jersey.
Uh-oh.
But you can buy it in Pennsylvania.
Black market milk coming in?
But then federal law prohibits the interstate sale of raw milk. So you got to be careful.
So you're telling me, right now, the Phillies are scuffling. We haven't seen Harper in pretty much 6 games. You're trying to get him arrested before the game tonight.
I'm just saying he's got to be careful. You may be breaking the law here. See, the way we used to do it.
Why would you tip them off to this?
Back in the day when I was into the raw milk like 10 years ago, again, not recommending it, it would get delivered from Lancaster, but it wouldn't get delivered to your house. It would literally be dropped off at some drop-off location in a cooler. It was really shady stuff.
What's the problem with pasteurized milk? What was your problem with it?
I don't know. I remember reading somewhere that raw milk was better, and I did
Louis
it.
Pasteur went through all those trials and tribulations to give you safe milk.
Yeah, why do people prefer raw milk? I don't even remember why. This is going back a decade.
Marie and Pierre Curie. What did Marie and Pierre Curie do, right? What did the Curies do? Were they involved in the homogenation process as well?
I was going to say they invented the Keurig, so I got nothing for you on that one.
Keurig is
terrible. What did Marie and Pierre
You're an espresso
what did Marie
guy?
Curie do as opposed to Joseph Pasteur? Was she involved in milk? You doing any research for me?
I'm not sure. I was trying to find out
Marie Curie.
Why I was into
Curie.
I'm not sure why I was into raw milk. What's her name again?
Marie Curie. Curie. And her husband, Pierre.
All right. They were Polish-French physicists and chemists who revolutionized the fields of medicine and radiology through her groundbreaking research on radioactivity.
Oh, okay. That had nothing to do with milk.
Nothing to do with
food.
food.
So pasteurization came from Joseph Pasteur.
I would assume. Yeah.
I've got him as Louis Pasteur.
Oh, is it Louis Pasteur? Okay.
Yes, the French microbiologist.
There you go. That's Louis Pasteur. So what's the difference between pasteurization and homogenation? Homogenization. Is there a difference? I'm trying to get this all down. I don't know what the problem is with milk that's safer.
I'm getting it for you.
Wait.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. You have it, Ray?
While pasteurized milk kills the pathogens that cause foodborne illnesses, homogenized milk is easy to digest.
So what are we
What's the
buying
difference
at the grocery store? What are we buying? Pasteurized milk or homogenized milk?
I would bet pasteurized.
Yeah, I think
See,
it's
we got to know
pasteurized.
these things.
I think you can buy homogenized as well. This is a lot of detail here. But just don't break the law, Bryce. Don't be interstate commerce with illegal raw milk.
You already snitched on him.
You did.
I didn't snitch.
You did snitch.
Yeah, you
You
snitched on-
quite clearly
You
snitched on the guy.
Now reporters have to follow that story. See?
First, Alvarado goes down for Ozempic, and now we're going to see Harper go down for raw milk.
There you go. So Bill has exposed the raw
exposing
milk.
Bryce.
The raw milk caper of Jersey. Bill has now exposed.
It's funny. I went from raw milk. I'm more of a. I'm going to admit this. This may be a hot take. I'm more of an almond milk guy.
Yeah, I don't drink milk.
Yeah, I go almond milk.
Yeah, no reason to drink milk.
I do.
You're drinking secretions from a cow.
I know. I do at night for the protein. I do Greek yogurt.
Yeah, I'm starting to eat some yogurt now.
Yeah.
I'm not a big yogurt fan, but I found this Yoplait cherry and strawberry.
Be careful. A lot of sugar in there.
I know, but it's good.
I go with just a
Tastes good.
2%
Of course you do.
Greek yogurt,
Yeah,
plain.
of course you do.
Good amount of protein.
Yeah. Fortify those muscles. Muscles marinara over here. 610-632-0975. We'll get to our calls, our text board after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Huff trade finalized. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles and 49ers finalized Bryce Huff trade yesterday as the Eagles sent the edge rusher to San Francisco in exchange for a conditional 2026 fifth-round pick that can turn into a fourth-round pick. OTAs continue today for the Eagles with the second practice open for the media. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio will meet with the media around noon today. We'll carry that presser live for you right here on the Mike Missanelli Show. Also, Brandon Graham's retirement became official yesterday as he was added to the NFL's retired reserve list. Phillies open up a 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays tonight with Christopher Sanchez on the mound at 7:07. It's a bit of a change of plans because Zach Wheeler was originally slated to get the start, but he's away from the team now as he awaits the birth of his child. The Phillies looking at a 4-game losing skid tonight in the first of a 6-game road trip. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Learn more at MBUSA.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli Show. There is an absolute difference in perception between how national people look at this Phillies team and how the fan base looks at this Phillies team. The fan base is worried in the context that we don't know if they can win the World Series. That's the whole crux of this whole thing. And the national people don't look at it that closely. Like, I'm reading this story that was in The Athletic where they have this category called it's a worry quotient of some sort. And so even though the Phillies have dropped below the Mets and they got swept and have lost 4 in a row, they got swept by the Brewers and lost that one of those games 17-7, and it wasn't even that close. It really was 17-2. But the worry quotient that the national people put on the Phillies is 1.5 out of 10. Now, that's minuscule. So, in other words, people from outside here look at it and go, hey, yeah, they're a good team. But they don't dig deep into what the problems are that we look at. And no matter how optimistically you want to look at the Phillies and say they're a good team, what's going to prevent them from winning are a couple of major problems.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a weird article by Levi Weaver and Ken Rosenthal. And the worry spectrum, or whatever they're calling it, it's the wind-up panic spectrum.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Either do I.
That's their newsletter.
It's a stupid name.
Yeah, it's a weird name. But what I think you need to define, though, when they're saying, how worried are we? And they put it as a 1.5 out of 10. Well, how worried are we that the Phillies aren't going to make the postseason? Yeah, not worried.
There's no worry there.
Yeah, not worried.
They're certainly a good enough team to make the postseason.
Yeah, so, but what is there? They got to qualify this. When we're talking about our worries, we're looking at it through the lens of, can they win a World Series? Can they get back to a World Series? And we identify the issues because we live with them every single day. As you said, you could watch games for 2 weeks with the Phils and say, you know what, they're a really good team, but the bullpen's up and down. There's questions in the outfield. Their defense leaves a lot to be desired. And how good is their pitching staff going to be for the long term if they get overworked deep into games? I mean, that's really what our worries are.
Yeah. You know what my worry quotient is for them to actually get to the World Series?
Close to a 10, probably.
It's 8.5.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm sorry. I mean, I want to look at this optimistically as possible also. But I like we talked about it yesterday. Okay, this is a revamped bullpen now. It's revamped because you brought up hard-throwing Seth Johnson, and you put Taijuan Walker in a high-leverage spot, which means he's a top 4 guy now. And you got rid of Ruiz. That's the retooled bullpen. That doesn't really do that much for me. I got to be honest with you. Did it boost my confidence? Not one bit did it boost my confidence, this shift in this bullpen.
No, and they would have to make a move. But assume that they keep everything else status quo. And at the deadline, Dombrowski goes out and he adds a really quality arm to the bullpen that can come in and high leverage situations. Maybe he adds a closer. That 8.5 drops a little bit, though, doesn't it? I mean, you look at this lineup, even though there's questions.
Everything is fluid. Don't get me wrong. If he brings in a bullpen guy that I really like or trust, then obviously their bullpen's going to be improved. But you still have a situation in left field. You still have a situation in center field where you're not going to get a lot of production.
Yeah, you do have those issues. But again, and we've said this before, but once you have your full arsenal, hopefully, of healthy starting pitchers, and if that includes Andrew Painter, you also have reinforcements headed to that pen from this starting rotation. With this lineup, even though there's questions in left and center, with this lineup, if you can get quality pitching in the postseason, there's no reason that they can't go back to a World Series.
Let me ask you this. Do you think in their current form, without a deal, let's just say deal, that they can sail through 7, 8, and 9 with what they have in the bullpen? Because that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to sail through 7, 8, and 9.
So you're going Kerkering, Strahm, Romano, unless they decide to go matchup-based it may be Romano.
Yeah.
Strom.
Do you have confidence that they can sail through 7, 8, 9? See, other teams when they bring in hammers in 7, 8, 9, have more of a chance to sail through 7, 8, 9. I think that this bullpen, and I'm including Romano in this too, is a bit of a finger cross. And I don't like to go into a late inning with a finger cross.
I would agree with you. What we've seen over the last couple of months, you're right, it's a finger cross because we don't know. Like you said, though, it's fluid. Over the next couple of months, we could become completely confident in this bullpen. But right now, yeah, it's a finger cross every time they come out.
Here's the thing. I don't think Dombrowski sees the panic that we see.
I think he does when it comes to the bullpen because he's usually reserved. And we heard in that podcast the other day, Ray, I don't know if you still have the audio, but we heard in that podcast the other day, he talked about the offense and said that we have to just get better with what we currently have. But he did say we'll probably add to the bullpen, something along those lines. I don't have the exact quote, but he's acknowledging.
He also tried to sell Taijuan Walker to you. His stuff can play in high leverage situations. That's what he tried to sell.
And so far, what you've seen of Walker,
where have you seen him in a high leverage situation?
I know. I'm trying to convince myself here with Taijuan, but
I mean, we'll see him soon enough. It may be a high leverage situation. Maybe even in a series.
I am concerned with Walker because he doesn't have the swing and miss type of stuff that you would expect from a high leverage reliever. That's not his style of pitching lately. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. But at the very least, what Walker does is he's another arm so you don't overuse these guys. See, that's the fear I have is Romano, Strom, Kerkering, they're going to get so overused that even if you do become confident in them, they're going to be tired by October.
If the other guy doesn't deliver, then you have to overuse him. That's the whole point.
That's the issue.
It's like the New York Knicks. You're going to play all those guys because you don't believe in your bench.
You could hear the pain in his voice about the Knicks.
Well, that's what it is.
Mikey Missanelli still upset about his New York Knicks.
Yeah, let's go to text.
It's too soon. It's too soon to go after him for that. Yeah, come on. It's just mean.
My Knicks.
All right.
My Pacers.
My Pacers.
Anyway, what's the text board say?
First time texter here, Scott from PA. 2 states of the country, raw milk is legal in Pennsylvania and Oregon. Let's use that strength to send Harper to the outfield.
Well, what does Harper do? Does he only drink it when he's in Pennsylvania? Where's he get it? They deliver it to the clubhouse in PA? Maybe that's what he does to circumvent it.
That's probably
Maybe he does it. Maybe he gets it delivered somehow underneath the radar.
Maybe the way I was doing it, where it gets dropped off in a location and you go and pick it up and it's sitting in there in a cooler in 100-degree weather. You got to get there quick. You can't go bad. They got it on ice. And I would pick up meat. It would be packaged meats that were grass-fed cow.
Used to go
I mean, this was a decade ago. I'm not doing this anymore.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. I was crazy a decade ago, but now I'm perfectly fine.
Now I'm normal. Now I'm just kind
of normal is subjective.
What else do you have on the text board, right?
Just a lot of people upset with Bill for snitching on Harper, afraid that he's going to get Harper in trouble. A lot of people chiming in upset with Bill.
Yeah, I got Dawood came at me on the YouTube chat saying, I didn't care that didn't retaliate against Bryce. Now I'm snitching on Bryce. I didn't mean to snitch.
Unnamed text here from Florida. Bill, tell me which reliever you do not have a concern about.
Yeah, that's when you put it that way.
You were coming along on Romano, though.
I was.
Man, you were all about him.
It's the Romano Revival Tour.
He's got a really good slider.
He does.
He really does. When he snaps that slider, it drops into the left hand quadrant for a strike. That's a good pitch.
Yeah, when he has his slider, he's tough to hit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can't say that I have no concerns about Romano. And then what we've seen is Strom. I would have said Strom, but he hasn't really been lights out over his last few outings. Kerkering, I'm still hopeful that he's going to be that guy, but he's too up and down. But, look, we feel bad about Kerkering because he couldn't get out of that inning. Turner makes the routine play. Kerkering did his job on Sunday. So, I don't know. I don't feel good about any of them, I guess, is the answer to that texter.
610-632-0975. Our leadoff hitter is on deck. Greg from Bethlehem. Back after this.
Philadelphia Union Soccer.
They play short here.
97.5 The Fanatic. Don't forget Vic Fangio. His shot at the media at noon. We'll have it. And there are a lot of people. Here's the thing. I hate people that fear jinxes. I don't think jinxes exist.
Oh, are you talking about the Madden curse?
Yeah, there are people out there that are all worried that Saquon Barkley's on the cover of Madden and there's this so-called Madden jinx. I don't believe in any jinxes whatsoever. I think it's silly. It's a waste of your energy.
I agree with you. I'm not a very superstitious person when it comes to that stuff. But I will say, when you look at the history of the Madden covers dating back to 2001, there have been a lot more, quote-unquote, cursed athletes than not.
Yeah, to me, that's coincidence rather than jinx.
But what I think that it is, when you say coincidence, somewhat correct. What I think it is, you get on the Madden cover, why? Because you had an unbelievable season. It's hard to replicate that level of success the following year. And when we're talking about running backs, like Christian McCaffrey, Sean Alexander, some of these running backs who have been subject to the curse, it's always hard to replicate. Like, we've seen the numbers. When you have over 2,000 yards rushing the following year, the chance of you coming anywhere close to that is slim. Christian McCaffrey, overused last year. Of course he gets hurt. But there's some weird ones in there, Mike, like Michael Vick's on the cover, goes to jail the next year. Donovan McNabb's on the cover, tears up his knee the next year. There are some weird ones.
So if Michael Vick wasn't engaged in illegal gambling on dogfighting, would he have gone to jail?
It was just the Madden cover that got him.
So it was the jinx that actually precipitated the whole thing, right? Okay.
There's been a lot of curses, though. There really have. But the last Eagle...
Do you believe in these jinxes?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
So you believe when somebody says, an announcer goes, oh, he's 9 for 9 from the line, and then he misses the next one, that's a jinx?
Nah, I don't think so. The announcer jinx. Or like we've talked about this, too. Can you announce that it's a no-hitter? Can you announce it's a perfect game?
Right.
The field goal kicker hasn't missed an extra point all season. There's the announcer's jinx.
Yeah, this game, like when I tweet out when I watch an Eagles game and they're in command, I go, this game's over. Don't worry about it. Don't jinx him, Mike. You're jinxing him.
Yeah, there are people who are worried about the jinx. I don't know.
Flimsy mental conditions.
But I do think, though, not necessarily this is a jinx. You don't talk to the person who's in the middle of something great. Like, if you're having a great front nine and we're golfing together, I'm not going to turn to you and be like, oh, my God, Mike, you shot a 38 in the front. You don't do that. It's not that it's a jinx. You just don't get in the head. Just get in the person's head. Just like if someone's pitching a no-hitter, you don't go up to them in the dugout and be like, yo, man, no hits through 6. Keep it up. You wouldn't do that. So that's not necessarily a jinx. It's just you don't want to mess with their psyche.
See, that doesn't apply to me because I know my score at all times.
Well, you've never shot a 38 either on the front.
I actually have.
I told you the story when I shot a 38 on the front. I shot a 50 on the back.
Yeah, well, you know, you're right. It does jinx yourself when you
start to think
tally
about
your
it.
Score up.
Yeah,
but you tally your score up after 9. You know you're shooting 38.
Yeah. No, I always do it too. All
right, let's go to the phones. Greg in Bethlehem. Greg, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Greg.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Can you hear me all right?
How are you, Greg?
Good. I'm just watching a doe feeding her fawns in our backyard.
Very nice. I'm trying to get an update, by the way, on the little baby bird broken wing thing of yesterday.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Yeah, that's... well, I mean, I know there are rehab centers around. They might...
Yeah, we took it to the wildlife.
might-
Well, I didn't. My girlfriend took it to the wildlife.
Yeah. I think that's what you have to do, and they do miraculous things. Some of those rehab centers.
But it's probably not going to get re-released into the wild. I still think they're going to keep it, Mike.
Keep it for a while, maybe.
I don't know if they'll ever release it into the wild. They'll keep it there forever.
Well, I guess it depends on whether it is old enough to be able to feed on its own. That it doesn't have to be fed.
We fed it a little egg yolk, and the bird says the whole world's prejudice against people who don't like eggs. Is what the bird said. It wouldn't take the egg yolk. Yeah. No,
Yeah, I
it
don't
actually
know what the,
nibbled the egg yolk. So we got it. We got it some nourishment.
They cannibalized
Nice.
it.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Well, you know, even though they think you're a heartless bastard, Mike, I wouldn't agree.
Greg, don't give him credit. This was all his girlfriend. Mike would have left the thing to die out there. Come on, Mike. You would not have taken it 45 minutes, rushed through traffic to get there before they closed. That was all the GF, and you know it.
It was. I don't know if I would have gone to that extent, but I am a humanitarian when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I would save a mouse from a cat's mouth. That's the kind of guy I am. And here's what else I do. If there's a house fly in the house, I will stun it. Like, I'll swat it. I won't swat it to kill it. I'll swat it to knock it out, pick it up by the wing, and I'll throw it outside.
Who are you, Norman Bates?
I swear to God, I can't smash a bug.
Remember the end of Psycho where he's talking to himself in the jail?
Yeah.
And he says, I'm not even going to hurt a fly. I'm going to show them I won't even hurt a fly.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, what is my option? I can smash that thing, and it's a smash against, and I have to scrape it off the sliding door, or I can stun it. It gets knocked out a little bit. I pick it up, and it lives another day, just not in my house.
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
All right.
We all have questions about the Phillies. One of the things that occurred to me trying to come up with some useful material, relatable content, is do you think that the Phillies are slow-walking Nola's return to give Abel some openings to pitch so that he'd be better trade bait?
No. no, I don't. I think I think Nola's injury is legit, and they want to give him all the time possible. They're not doing it to give Abel more. Now, if it happens that they get lucky and Abel pitches well and he becomes more marketable, that they'll accept that. But I don't think they're doing it on purpose.
Okay,
It's a good viewpoint by you, Greg. Though it shows you're thinking.
Well, you know, I'm always the gears are always grinding.
Well, they're grinding today, that's for sure. How about my man Greg going deep with that?
He's had a couple of good calls lately. I think it's because it's Monday or Tuesday. As we get closer to the weekend, the calls get worse and worse.
I didn't hear the Mad Elf influence today.
No, yesterday either. Now, Friday when he called.
Yeah, that's Friday.
That was a rough one, but it was Friday.
Yeah.
You just said, when I was thinking of content, is he sitting there doing his own show sheet for us? Where he's like, this is what I got to get to them today?
Yeah, Greg, email Ray at night to help him out a little bit. He should email
The
you
Greg
at night.
topics?
Greg topics for the day. Yeah, that'd be a good idea, actually. You find it hard to believe that fly story.
Well, I don't because my daughter,
The God's honest truth.
my daughter who's 10, we had a little bit of an ant problem, right? So I went and got the traps. She was very upset that was going to kill them. She didn't want to get traps that killed them. So I lied to her, and I told her that they come in, they eat the stuff, and then when they go back to the nest, it causes memory loss so that they can't figure out how to get back into the house.
That's pretty good.
It's a good one.
It's a pretty good
Because she
one.
didn't want the ants to be killed. So,
Now,
just memory loss.
When she finds out 3 years down the road that you lied to her,
That I killed them all.
You may have a little resentment. All right, 610-632-0975 is how you climb into the show. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Trade finalized. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles and 49ers finalized the Bryce Harper trade yesterday as the Eagles sent the edge rusher to San Francisco in exchange for a conditional 2026 fifth-round pick that can turn into a fourth-round pick. OTAs continue today for the Eagles with the second practice open to the media. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio will meet with the media around noon today, and we'll carry that presser live for you right here on the Mike Missanelli Show. Also in NFL news, Brandon Graham's retirement became official yesterday. That's the NFL's retired reserve list. And we got the cover for Madden 26 with Saquon Barkley on the cover. The reverse hurdle featured on the cover of the video game. Phillies open up a 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays tonight with Christopher Sanchez on the mound at 7:07. A little bit of a change of plan. Zach Wheeler was originally slated to get the start, but he's away from the team right now as he awaits the birth of his child. Phillies, of course, looking to end a 4-game losing skid in that game tonight. The game tonight is the first of a 6th-game road trip. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers of vehicles like 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry now through July 31st. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Show 97.5, The Fanatic. I got a Twitter comment challenging my kindness to bugs. Now, let me just say, I don't really have kindness to bugs. I just feel like I don't want to smash a bug. Like, for instance, a cockroach. You can't have any sympathy for a cockroach at all. But I would not step on a cockroach or smash a cockroach. I would spray it to death.
Okay.
I'd get the can of Raid out, and I'd give him that action.
Now, let me ask you.
Yeah.
You're a Jersey Shore guy.
Yeah.
You're on the beach.
Yeah.
Green
flies?
Oh.
I'll kill those bastards.
Yeah, man, you got no sympathy for.
See, that's you against that. That's a war.
Those things are the worst.
Yeah, that's a war. They're out to bite your ass. And in that situation, I'll slap the crap out of them. But a regular fly, here's what I do. Here's how kind I am. You can have
You are kind.
You can have a thick magazine, and that's going to do it in.
You don't use a thick magazine.
No, I'll use a small towel or a supermarket leaflet.
See, some would say it's kinder to put it out of its misery quickly. You're stunning it,
No, I'm
maybe injuring it, and then bringing it outside.
I'm not injuring it. I'm knocking it out.
Yeah, but how do you know you didn't injure its wings?
I didn't injure the wing. I knocked it out. It's knocked out. So then you can grab it by the wing and just flip it outside and it can go home to its family or whatever it does.
It's a lot of work, dude.
Yeah. Right. You think I'm nuts?
No, I don't think you're nuts. I think you're being a nice guy. They could probably go through concussion protocol, clear it, and they'll be fine for the rest of their life.
Exactly. It's they have to go in the blue tent.
Yeah.
After I'm done with them.
Once you throw them outside, the other flies come down. They put over the blue tent. They go through the whole process.
Exactly.
They clear him. He's good to go.
I feel bad. The fly did not intentionally come in the house. The air current took the fly, and when I opened my sliding door, somehow a fly got in. That fly doesn't want to stay in my house. That fly would rather be in nature. Would it not?
Yeah, if you didn't injure it enough where it now is going to suffer and then get eaten by a bigger bug outside because it can't get away.
I'll tell you what I feel bad about, though. When a fly comes into my garage and I close my garage door, and then I go back in the garage and I hear the buzzing. Well, there's no food. That fly's going to die of starvation within a day or two. So I feel bad about that because I'm really sealing up the chamber of death for the fly.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I hate flies, man.
Yeah, I'm killing it.
Yeah, I hate them as well. But like I say, I don't want to smash a fly, so I have to scrape it off my window.
You don't have a fly swatter in the house?
I do not have a fly swatter.
What about the electrical thing? Bzz. You ever see those? Those things are...
I like those for mosquitoes. I don't understand. I would question God about a couple of things.
Like why there are such things?
The mosquito and the cockroach. Like why? I don't know if that's necessary at all in nature.
Yeah, like we know that bees are necessary because they help pollinate flowers.
Correct.
But yeah, what does the mosquito do?
I don't get it.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Now, what it did do was it allowed dinosaurs to come back to Jurassic Park.
What, mosquito?
Yeah. You remember that whole storyline?
No, I never saw Jurassic Park.
Are you kidding me?
No.
What am I talking to Ray Dunn over here?
No, it's not my
Ray, you've seen Jurassic Park.
Seen.
Dinosaurs are not my thing.
So the way that they were able to recreate the dinosaur was a mosquito way back hundreds of thousands of years ago stung a dinosaur. The blood went into the mosquito. Sap then came from the tree, almost like fossilized or mummified the mosquito. They were able to extract the blood and the DNA from the mosquito for the dinosaur and recreate it, and then Jeff Goldblum gets killed.
Wait, is that true that you can do that? Is that the way you do it?
That's the movie.
Oh.
Feels right to
It
me.
feels real, though.
Yeah. Were you ever had any desire to see Jurassic Park, Ray?
Oh, I saw Jurassic Park.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the original one. I didn't actually see the new one with Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
I didn't see the
I've
new
never
one with
seen
Chris Pratt.
Jurassic Park.
What's wrong with you?
I can't believe you haven't seen that movie.
That was like an iconic movie
I
of
have
the 90s.
absolutely no interest in dinosaurs.
Yeah, but it's more than that. It's
What-
not just about
what is it?
dinosaurs. It's a story.
It's a story about what?
I guess dinosaurs are involved.
Really?
I mean, you liked
dinosaurs. The whole movie revolves around dinosaurs. I have no interest.
It's well done.
I wasn't around back then.
It was well done.
I
don't
just
even
like to
care
be
about
able to
that.
say that I can't believe you haven't seen that movie. That's
I
a line
can't
I
believe
haven't been able to use on this show
Yeah,
ever.
it's just not my thing. I'm more of a reality movie guy. Like I don't go like science fiction or outlandish stuff like Matrix or stuff like that.
Wait,
That's
did you not
my
watch?
thing.
Did you not see The Matrix?
I saw the Matrix. Yeah.
All of them?
No.
How could you watch the
No.
first Matrix and not watch the sequel?
Because it didn't hold any interest.
And the third one.
I'm in on that with you.
It was too confusing.
What's wrong with you two?
And it's 11 o'clock, by the way. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting every day from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. I just thought I have more interest in reality dialogue than science fiction.
I understand that. But Jurassic Park and The Matrix were massive movies of that generation.
The Matrix confused me. I didn't get it.
Yeah. I could see how it would be above your IQ a little bit.
No,
I mean, I fully understood
maybe
it.
It's above my realm of understanding because I'm not a techno.
Yeah, well, you weren't supposed to. I mean, you haven't seen it. I've seen it more than once, and I've seen the sequel and the third one, so you start to understand a little bit more. It's not that hard to understand. It's basically the machines, which we may be headed towards with AI,
Yeah.
take over, and then they basically just start harvesting us for energy, and we're living in this like dream state type thing.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for me.
I had to watch it for a class. That's the only reason I've
you
seen
did?
it. I'll come clean on that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now,
Does that make me a weirdo? I didn't like The Matrix.
No, it was a unique.
I didn't understand The Matrix.
Yeah, it was a unique movie. Now, Will Smith passed up The Matrix for the Wild Wild West movie. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, so you would have had Will Smith as Neo, not Keanu Reeves.
I don't live in The Matrix. I live in real life. I live on Earth.
We all live in the Matrix.
You don't know if you live in The Matrix. That's the thing.
I don't think I live in The Matrix.
Blue pill or red pill?
Well, Mike takes the blue pill. But I was going back to
I don't even know
yesterday's
what the hell
joke.
you're talking about. I've forgotten all about The Matrix.
That was when Morpheus gives him the option, the blue pill or
I
the
know
red
Morpheus and I know Neo.
pill. Yeah, Neo is
I
Keanu
know.
Reeves.
I knew, Lawrence Fishburne from Boys in the Hood.
What's Lawrence Fishburne up to these days? I haven't seen him
I
in a
don't know,
while.
but I like the Lawrence Fishburne of Boys in the Hood rather than the Lawrence Fishburne of The Matrix. Like that's my reality.
You didn't like his glasses and everything?
Like Furious Styles was a classic father figure in the Hood.
That was a good movie. That was a good movie, too. I got to watch a new movie. Have you seen, I know this is going back, did you see The Substance with Demi Moore?
No.
I'm not even going to ask Ray. That's been something I've wanted to see. I've heard it was really good. It's fairly new.
Really? I don't even know what it's about.
A Substance, I believe.
I have not watched a movie. I am now like, I can't sit through a movie because of all these series that come up. Like, a movie doesn't click with me anymore. I'd rather watch a series.
Yeah, but sometimes don't you want the start and the end on the same night? It's like my problem is I love series too, but it's like you never get the conclusion.
No, it's like eating one tandy take and saving the one for later. You always got the one for later that you can look forward to.
That's a good analogy. Yeah, but sometimes you just want the full story in one evening.
I can't sit. A movie now is too long for me to sit through once you get conditioned to watch series.
Which you did not watch the latest Mobland yet.
I did not watch it. I should have watched it last night, but I did
the season finale because I got to talk to you.
In the series watching mode last night.
It was a good one. I mean, the whole season was good. So,
all right, 610-622-0975. Go back to the text board. See what the text board's saying. Your fighting Phil's not playing last night hurts.
Yeah, I know. You get so used to it.
Yeah, it's a gap. I don't like when there are days off.
We have Paul from Glenside here. With this bullpen and the situation in center field and left field, this team, as it stands right now, has 0 shot to win a playoff series.
I don't think it has 0 shot to win a playoff series. I don't like their chances to get to the World Series. But a playoff series, I could see them winning.
I could too, but
their starting pitching is good enough to win a short playoff series, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean you got to put your money on Zach Wheeler in a game, and the way that Sanchez has looked and Luzardo outside of what you saw this weekend.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, though, when you look at the National League right now, there are a lot of tough teams, man, in the National League, but more than we thought. Like, Yeah, we knew the Dodgers were going to be good. You expected the Mets to be good. But did you expect the St. Louis Cardinals to kind of be in the mix? The Padres?
I expected the Padres. They're a good team.
And the Giants.
Giants I did not expect.
And now you got the Brewers, who have been hot. They've won 8 in a row. I mean, it's not going to be an easy league to get out of.
But I tell you, I always like that Christian Yelich. That dude can rake. He's a weirdo, though. Like, I was sitting in right field once, and he's playing right field, and he's looking at the stands like he's almost alien-like, Christian Yelich.
Maybe he's in the Matrix.
He's like really weird looking.
Yeah, where's he from? He's a California kid, right?
I don't know, but he broke in with Bryce. With the JT. They're buddies. They live together.
Yeah, he is good, man. He was buddies with JT?
Oh, yeah. They broke in.
I don't know if I remember
that whole Marlins
organization.
Oh, that's right, when they were in Miami.
That Marlins roster that everyone refers to, hey, if they didn't trade everybody away.
Ozuna.
Yeah, they would have traded all away.
That's the Ozuna. Ozuna had all that byplay that whole weekend with JT.
Well, this brings us back to something Ray brought up before. Like, why does Miami even have a baseball team?
Did you see the picture last night in Miami? Marlins, Rockies, announced attendance, 5,000 people.
It's crazy.
Announced attendance.
They got to change it.
There were more people at Geno's Steaks yesterday to see Saquon.
Miami and Pittsburgh.
I believe it.
Gone. Nashville, here we come. 610-632.
Livy Dunn in Nashville.
0975.
Following Paul Skeen.
You're going to have to tell the Livy Dunn story that made you go freaky yesterday.
Well, there was another video, too. We'll talk about it.
All right. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
We want to hear from you, so text us.
Make a wish. Like Missanelli Show, 97.5. The Phillies back at it tonight. Blue Jays. Interesting game. Bowden Francis against Christopher Sanchez. Phillies a big favorite. And Bryce Harper will be back in the lineup tonight. Vic Fangio will join us at noon. Not us in particular, but he'll have a presser. And we'll hear from Vic. A lot of Huff questions, I assume, will be asked. And they finally settled on this. The Athletic had their all-quarter century team. And I want to see if we all agree with this.
I know Ray's not happy with something.
Ray's not happy with something. So Ray, I don't want you to reveal it yet. We're gonna go down the list, and then when we get to the one that has really bugged you, start screaming. Or
Sounds good.
Play a hockey horn or do something.
Did you say hockey? We got some breaking news for the Fly guys, you know.
Yeah.
Noah Cates, 4 more years with the Philadelphia Flyers. They've extended Noah Cates, left winger, 4 years, $16 million. He's coming off a decent season. He had 16 goals, 21 assists, still young. So, Danny Briere, Keith Jones, making moves, my man, making moves.
Oh, my God. That was breaking news.
Noah Cates.
Oh, my God. Noah Cates is breaking news?
You said hockey.
All right.
He's only 26. He's a decent player.
Well, I tell you what, that's right up there with the Vesuvius exploding in
Yo, did
Italy.
you see that? I got to
Yeah.
check on my family, man.
Yeah. See that they're no joke.
You know what? I meant to message
Volcanoes,
my.
and
That's where my family is
Sicily.
from. They're right in a town called Enna, which is right next to Mount Etna. It's like right in the center of the
really?
island of Sicily. Yeah.
Did you give him a call?
No, I meant to. I mean, I would message the one on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Let me do that. Actually,
You can actually message your Italian cousin on Facebook.
Yeah, Maria Angela, her name is.
Maria Angela. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
She's a cardiologist there.
Oh, the Missanellis are aware of me as well. I got an email from my cousin Filippo Missanelli many years ago. Filippo found me through the internet, and so I was a radio personality, and he emailed me, and I wound up hooking up with him in Italy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's really a cool experience. I did the same thing. I went and visited them there, and it's cool. Where's your family from?
My mother's side is Sicilian, and my father's side is from a province called Matera, which is at the ankle of the boot. But Filippo lived in Florence.
Gotcha.
So
you've been to Florence, right?
that's where I met him.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry, I'm messaging my cousin as I'm talking to you. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once
That's
here.
all right. Don't worry about it. I'm used to it.
I just messaged her. If
Yeah,
she
where-
writes
where-
back during the show, I'll let you know.
All right. Where was I? Oh, the all-decade, the all-quarter century team. And we got sidetracked on hockey and Noah Cates. Cates! Anyway.
That's a good hockey name, Noah Cates. Sounds like more like a baseball player, though. Up at the plate, right? Noah Cates. Like, there's a lot of guys, like Bobby Brink was a hockey name.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right.
I wasn't going to entertain it. I was just going to let you keep floundering over there with
The
that one.
all-quarter century team. At first base, Albert Pujols. No problem with that, right, Raymond?
Not a problem.
Cabrera was second. At second base, Altuve gets the nod over one Chase Utley.
Yeah, it's got to be Chase. See, I think Altuve
Gotta
should
be
be
Chase.
eliminated from contention with the whole trash can incident in Houston. Done. Shouldn't be in there.
It's only 1 year, though.
Doesn't matter. We don't know how long it was going on before that. What else was this guy doing to cheat?
I think Altuve gets the nod there. At shortstop, Derek Jeter over Lindor and Jimmy Rollins.
It's hard to argue with that one.
And at third base, Beltre over
Ooh.
A-Rod.
I think I would have gone with A-Rod.
No, you can't go with A-Rod. He's tainted.
Well, you just said
wait a
Altuve
second.
wasn't tainted.
Well, Altuve is like a cheating scandal, but it wasn't performance-enhancing drugs.
However, when A-Rod was doing the performance-enhancing drugs, The Major League Baseball wasn't necessarily testing for it. He never got suspended for it,
Doesn't
right?
matter.
Altuve literally cheated, though.
Look at Beltre's numbers. I want you to look at that. Say, Mister, look it up. Go ahead. Give me Beltre's over 3,000 hits. How many home runs do you have?
I don't have it in front of me. I was looking at A-Rod's numbers.
What
to
are you
make my
doing?
argument.
You texting your Italian cousin again?
No, I was going to make my argument with A-Rod's numbers in the 2000s.
Okay. Well, look at Beltre's, and then compare it to A-Rod.
All right, let's see.
What do you got?
Give me a second here. All right, so Beltre. See, the problem is we're talking 2000s. All right, he only played 2 years in the 90s.
3,000 hits. Does he not?
Beltre has in his career.
What do you got? A computer run by hamsters?
It's going slow for some reason.
Jesus.
I don't know. I think I got too many things saved on here.
Yeah, he's got a treadmill.
He's got close to 3,200 hits, 477 home runs.
Come on, man.
A-Rod had.
Oh, A-Rod got 600 homers.
A-Rod had, in terms of hits, 3,100 hits,
No.
close to 700 home runs.
Oh.
Now, wait, granted, some of that was when A-Rod, it was in the 90s.
Performance enhanced.
They are performance enhanced.
All right. Anyway, Beltre gets the nod at third base over A-Rod. The catcher, I got a problem with. Buster Posey over Yachty over Joe Mauer, who just went into the Hall of Fame? What? Is Buster Posey a Hall of Famer?
Probably.
He is?
3 World Series?
Posey
All
get the
those-
nod over Yadier Molina?
So I'll give you Molina over Posey.
Okay.
I think, honestly, it came down to Posey, I think, to a broader fan base, because it was the fan voting on this one. I think more people remember big Posey moments than Molina moments.
I get it, but the
Posey
merit
fans.
of it is not, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying what appealed to the people who voted.
Buster Posey's got Hall of Fame numbers? I'll have to look at that closer. In the outfield, Barry Bonds makes it, and A-Rod did not make it.
Yeah, so you can't. If you're not going to eliminate Barry Bonds for performance enhancing.
You raised a good point there. First good point of the day. Mike Trout in center field, and Ichiro gets the nod in right field over Aaron Judge.
I like that.
The DH, Ohtani over David Ortiz.
It's a pretty good team. So
Your pitching staff, Verlander, Kershaw, Randy Johnson, Scherzer, and Pedro Martinez with Roy Halladay 6th.
And that's where I have
You
my
got a
conviction.
problem.
Now it's tough because I'm not sure who I'm taking out of that top 5. But it's hard for me to imagine that since the year 2000 you don't have Roy Halladay in your top 5 pitchers.
Scherzer have better numbers than Halladay?
Scherzer's got the multiple World Series. He's got I think he's got comparable, maybe even one more Cy Young than Halladay. I mean, all these guys, I think postseason success pushes them past them, but are we holding postseason success against Roy Halladay? It's not his fault that he was a Blue Jay.
Pedro's prime years were early 2000s, right?
Right.
Not that many years, right? But 90s.
And you think like that early 2000s, like Johnson and Martinez get in because or get the top 5 nod because they were part of like driving engines of teams that
Won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do we hold that against Halladay?
Maybe.
I think, in looking at the numbers here, I think Pedro shouldn't be considered. He won 2 of his Cy Youngs in the 90s.
Yeah, I thought so. When the Phillies got him, he pitched for them in 2008. Wait,
Nine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
09.
2009. He was done by then.
Yeah, I mean, look, in the early 2000s, he was really good with Boston. But a lot of his career was before 2000. I would go with Roy Halladay over Pedro.
All right, 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Up trade finalized. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles and 49ers finalized Bryce Harper trade yesterday as the Eagles sent the edge rusher to San Francisco in exchange for a conditional 2026 fifth-round pick that can be turned into a fourth-round pick. OTAs continue today for the Eagles with the second practice open to the media. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio is meeting with the media around noon today, and we'll carry that presser live for you right here on the Mike Missanelli Show. Also, Brandon Graham's retirement became official yesterday as he was added to the NFL's retired reserve list, and we got the cover of Madden 26 with one Saquon Barkley doing the reverse hurdle on the cover of the video game. Phillies open up a 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays tonight with Christopher Sanchez on the mound at 7:07. Zach Wheeler was originally slated to get the start, but he's away from the team right now as he awaits the birth of his child. Phillies looking at a 4-game losing skid tonight in the first of a 6-game road trip. And we got news from the Flyers. Noah Cates has signed a 4-year, $16 million extension to remain in Philadelphia. This update is brought to you by WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private because your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even WhatsApp. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's 11:26. It's Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. We have a major announcement coming our way on this show in the 1 o'clock hour. Major announcement. Breaking news.
Yeah, big announcement coming
Breaking
up.
news coming up. You don't want to leave the show because I could spill it at any time. You know, I'm very undisciplined when it comes to secrets. So, I got a question for you here. You know, there was a big jailbreak out in New Orleans.
I saw this.
You hear this?
Wait, you talking about the social media video now?
Yeah, 10 inmates broke out of a New Orleans jail, and they're still on the run.
Wait, and they put a note that said, like, too easy, right? Didn't they put something out?
I just
didn't
feel
read
for the
that.
guy that fell. The one that went to the left, he tripped.
Oh, really?
Everyone else got away clean.
Oh, all right.
Tough look for him.
One of the guys who got out clean is on the lam, and he posted a video on Instagram saying that he didn't break out, he was let out. And the reason why he left jail is these people were trying to give me a life sentence in both parishes for something I did not do. He was being held on domestic abuse involving strangulation and was wanted elsewhere on suspicion of kidnapping and rape. In the video, the tattooed man implores Donald Trump to investigate apparent corruption at the prison and pardon him.
And I think he asked for Meek Mill to get involved, too.
Did he ask Meek?
Right.
Let's say no, Lil Wayne.
Was it Lil Wayne? I thought it was Meek
Lil
Mill.
Wayne. He said, I'm asking please for help. I'm saying that the people that have been through the system that know it's corrupt, Lil Wayne, Donald Trump, please, I'm asking for help. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said on the video.
And Meek Mill. Yeah, I was right. Lil Wayne,
really?
Trump, and Meek Mill to help him. And I'm looking at the pictures. He says he didn't escape, but above the hole where he escaped, they wrote, too easy. Spelled T-O, though, but too easy.
Well, yeah, people don't put the extra O on these days.
Well, I mean, you're breaking out of prison. You got to cut corners somehow.
You don't
An
have
extra
time.
O, you could get caught.
Well, then why not just do the number 2?
No.
Easy. That would have saved you more time.
Might not be the brightest group.
I always wondered, this is really a morbid thought, but I always wondered if I was in jail and I escaped, how long could I last on the lam?
It's very difficult in today's world. With credit cards and ATM. Like, what are you going to do? Cell phones?
Well, you steal credit cards.
Yeah, but then once you steal it and they know you got it, they're able to track it. I don't know. How long do you think you could last?
I don't know. I don't know where I would go. I would have to find a friend to harbor me. But the question is, would you harbor an escaped convict if he was your friend?
Publicly, you would have to say no, because that would be...
I would say no.
That'd be a crime.
But if this was all off the record, this is all off the record.
all
No
off
one's
the record.
listening. Just
All right, Ray,
would
I'm
you harbor-
on the lam here. I call you up,
You're ready.
Yeah,
and I'm
forget
like, Ray,
Listen,
I need you, bud.
you already
hey, police! Hello, police! I've got Bill.
you already snitched on Bryce Harper today, right? Would you snitch on Ray if he was the escaped convict?
I will say
he
this.
called you and said, I need a couple hours. I need to get a change of clothes. I need to shave my beard and my head.
That's actually a really good point. I could go incognito really quickly.
You could.
I wonder what you would look like with a
He has a
shaved
big
head.
red beard. Our escaped convict has a big red beard. And then all of a sudden it's
No, we
gone.
don't.
I will say this. I probably would help if I knew they were innocent. Like, if my friend murdered somebody and I thought this person deserved to be in jail, I don't know if I would help them.
He was convicted of a murder. You're going to do your own investigation and exonerate him?
What if you knew he was innocent?
How would you know he was innocent? He told you? Like, how would you know?
This is a really deep question.
It's
here.
a total deep
and
question.
like family members.
Well, here's the other question. If a cousin of yours committed a crime, would you turn him in?
Well, see now,
Suppose he murdered somebody.
you and I have a duty as being members of the bar.
Correct.
That we have to.
Yes.
We're not allowed to help anybody when it comes to. If you're observing illegal activity, you have, as a member of the bar, being a lawyer, you're supposed to
Yes.
report it.
Yes.
So my answer would have to be no.
You're not.
I would not help anyone. But But if you needed representation,
You're not a lawyer.
I'll help you get a lawyer.
You're not a lawyer at all. You have a cousin who's a renegade. The cousin said he just killed the clerk at the liquor store. What would you do? He comes to you. I need some shelter for. What would you do?
I shot the clerk. You know the movie?
Yeah, it's
My Cousin Benny.
My Cousin Benny. Yeah. No, seriously.
Since this is being broadcast to the world, I wouldn't help a criminal. Ray, I'm going to turn it over to you. What would you
Suppose
do?
it was your brother.
I'm an only child.
Would you?
I'm an only child.
What a great cop out.
Stop it. Would you turn in your brother?
Well, since I'm an only child, I'll turn it over to Ray. Ray has a
Ray's
brother.
close to his brother. He just graduated from college. Right. Your brother got into some stuff and he killed the clerk. What would you do?
Liquor store, though?
Well,
Liquor store, brother. I don't know.
whatever.
I really like the liquor store near
Your
me.
brother killed somebody, manslaughter, whatever it was, accidental. Would you turn him in?
Legally speaking, no.
Legally speaking. I'm curious, because you're tied in knots. You know, the anti-snitching thing is part of you. It's a family member. Like, could you be capable of turning in your brother?
It would take a lot.
So what would you say? No, I'm going on the lam. But here's some cash. Get out of here. Would you
I
do
don't
that?
carry cash, so that would be tough.
Ray would say, I'd give you my credit card, but I left it at the bar. We opened the tab last night.
Your damn Apple Pay or whatever you use these days.
I would give you my debit card, but there's nothing there.
But that's what makes it so hard in today's world, like Apple Pay, Venmo. All these things are trackable. They'd find you in a second.
Would you be able to take out some cash? Here it is. You go to the bank, whatever cash you have, you take out like $300 and say, listen, here's $300. Take a bus somewhere. I'm out.
Now there's a paper trail. So when he gets caught and they take a look at your history at your ATM,
stop with
Mr.
the
Dunn,
paper
can
trail.
you tell us why?
I get it. So you get cash from somewhere. Somebody lends you $300.
Well, yeah,
right? There's no paper trail. Somebody lends you $300 cash.
Well, you're asking what we would do. What would you do?
I don't think I could turn in my brother. I really don't. I would say you got to skedaddle.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna turn you in.
Would you turn me in?
Yeah, in a second.
there's not a second thought on that one.
Yeah, there's not even a second thought.
In a second.
But it's a blood relative. I don't know. I mean, how many people would do that?
Look, I think most people that would be a really tough
You're going to
position.
get
for most people.
you harbor a criminal. You're in your own legal trouble. So that's why I'd say, listen, here's some quick cash. Get out of Dodge. And don't call. Yeah.
I watched
and try to go overseas.
I watched a movie. It's an older movie, but I watched it recently called The Next 3 Days.
Yeah.
With Liam Neeson, where his wife goes to jail for murder.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see this movie?
No. Was it a great movie?
I wouldn't say it was a great movie, but it was a very entertaining movie. It's wait, not Liam Neeson. It's Russell Crowe. Right? Wasn't it Russell Crowe in that movie? Yeah, it was Russell Crowe, not Liam Neeson. I don't know why I got Liam Neeson. Russell Crowe and Elizabeth Banks. She goes to jail for
fan
murder.
Of Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, she goes to jail for murder. They exhaust all types of appeals, and she's in jail for life. They got a son, and then the movie's about his attempt to break her out of jail. It's a pretty good movie, pretty entertaining. The Next 3 Days. Ray, put it on number 50 on your list.
50? There's already 50 there.
That's what I mean. Mike could watch.
Slotting a few things down.
All right, let me ask you this question. Speaking of movies, Carlito's Way was on the other night. I was watching it again. The scene where David Kleinfeld, who's played by Sean Penn, the attorney, right? You know this movie, Carlito's Way?
Yeah.
You see Carlito's Way?
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right, so
it's vaguely the sequel to Scarface.
Right. He represents a mob guy. He goes to see him in jail. He stole $1 million from the mob guy. The mob guy goes, either you help me break out or you're dead. I'll have you killed. And what you have to do is you have to pick me up. We have this escape plan. You got to come with a boat and pick me up. I'm going to swim to a buoy. Remember that scene?
I do, and that was a fairly good movie. Sean Penn was good in that movie.
He was crazy in that movie.
Yeah.
And Al Pacino as Carlito. Would you do that? If it was your death or having to break somebody out of jail?
Yeah, at that point, you're not going to say kill me. You're going to do what you got to do to survive.
So you would take a boat and try to get the guy from the buoy. You would try to rescue the guy.
Or go
the
to
criminal.
Or somehow go to the authorities secretly. I don't know how you would do it. These are really tough questions.
They are tough questions. But this is a day that you ask these tough questions. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Andrew Salciunas.
It's funny to me too.
There was a coffee run that we made there, and Ray loves it because he plugs in all his little drops.
He loves it. Yeah, we let him do it.
Love it.
Love it.
Look at it. He just lights up.
Yeah.
Love it. Whether you like it or not.
Love it.
Ray, what's your favorite drop on the board?
I mean, all the Sirianni ones I love because I like to weaponize them against you. They're like my favorite. I do love this one from Mike.
Your mind works in a very interesting way.
I like that one a lot. It's hard to pick a favorite. The Stephen A. ones also are, like
This is bad. This is very
I like that one. The Scrub one worked good for the spelling bee last week. It's hard to pick a favorite. It's like having your own children, This is basically the closest I'm ever going to be to having children. So these drops,
Wait, what? What?
No, I'm just saying that.
What would you, if you had to estimate an age that you're going to be a father, what would the age be?
Oh.
You're going to hold off because your career is now one of these things that, it's going to, you got to go step by step and get to the place where you want to be? Or would you consider being married and having children as you're doing that?
Well, I would consider that as I'm doing that, for sure. But given the fact that at this moment there's no significant other, we're looking at least half a decade plus before the children are in the discussion.
First you get her the money, then you get her the power, then you get her the woman, right?
Oh, man. If I'm waiting for money.
That'd be a lesson to you. No
rush.
In other words, you got to.
I'm not rushing.
You got to hit big before you think about the other thing.
Got it.
In my view.
Wait till you're at least 30. You
Okay.
got at least 5 more years of being single.
Okay.
That would be pushing it for you? You want to do it before 30?
Maybe not married. But, you got to go through the process of getting there. Like, if you mean tax filing status single, yeah, that's fine.
Would you, at this point, rather have a steady girlfriend, or do you like where you are?
Well, it depends. Not going to get into a relationship to get into a relationship. That's a mistake right there.
Well, what does it depend on?
Well,
you have total freedom to date anybody you want, or would you rather be in a relationship?
Well, it depends who the relationship is with.
Well, yeah, I get it, but that's what I'm saying. Are you looking for that, or are you looking just to date?
I think if you're looking for that, you end up forcing yourself into something that you don't want to be in. So I'm not looking for that specifically. I'm enjoying where I'm at.
What advice would you give a young Ray, Bill?
I would tell him to be patient and not to get to the point where you think, I'm getting so old, I got to settle down, and then to settle. Don't settle. Know that there is someone out there that is perfect. That's all. That would be my advice.
That's very sweet of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people start to think you're getting to the age, all my friends are getting engaged, and then you settle for maybe someone that isn't right for you. And not to mention, the reason I say wait till 30, the person you are today is not the person you're going to be in 5 years. You're going to grow. You're going to evolve. And sometimes your partner evolves with you. Other times they don't, and you go in separate ways. So wait till you really evolve and know who you are before you pick your partner.
I think he knows who he is.
I think he does.
Ray is a very mature young lad.
He is very mature.
Way more mature than either of us probably are when we were his age.
Yeah, when I was 25, that would have been 2008. So I was in law school. I was still a student at that point. Yeah, I was definitely less mature than Raymond Dunn. I probably still am less mature than Raymond Dunn.
I didn't go to law school until I was 26, I guess. I had started out in journalism. And because I was only making $12,000 a year, I decided I needed a better profession. So that's why I went to law school.
Yeah, this has turned into Ray Life Advice.
Let me ask you about law school, Bill. Where did you sit in the room? Were you a front row man, a middle man, or a back row man?
I would sit not in the very back, not in the front. I would try to mix in so that I wouldn't get called on. Because, they teach with the Socratic method.
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't want to get called on.
No. Did you get called on early in your career?
I got called on a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. Were you ready? Were you prepared?
Sometimes. Mostly, yeah.
First law school class I ever attended was a torts class, and the professor was a madman who taught by the Socratic method. Went randomly down the roll and called on a lady, and she stood up, and he grilled her to the point where she cried.
Ooh.
First day. Now, I assume he did that for a reason. Like, this is now no joke for you people in this class. But and I thought it was a little heavy-handed. But we hated the guy. But he turned out to be a really good professor, even though he was a hard ass. But we were so afraid of this guy that a friend of mine used to sit in the wrong seat on the seating chart, even though he would attend class. And he got called on once, and he looked up. The professor looked up and go, "Oh, he's absent today." But actually, he was sitting in the seat next to that.
See, because he just didn't want to have to answer it.
Yeah.
Yeah, law school was hard.
And he got me one Saturday morning, too. We get Saturday morning classes. He got me one Saturday morning. For the life of me, I just happened to be prepared that day. And he gives me one of these. And I go, I think the conclusion, blah, blah, blah. He goes, yes, Mr. Missanelli, I like the way you think.
Oh.
And I go, yeah. And people, during the intermission of the class, people are patting me on the
Good
shoulders.
job, Mike.
Yeah, oh, man, that was intense.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Law school wasn't easy.
Law school wasn't hard. The bar was hard.
Yeah. Well, the bar was a lot of...
School, the law school was like, I don't know. They don't teach you to be a lawyer in law school, do they? They teach you...
How to think.
Yeah, they teach you a thought process, really. And it's maddening to me, because I would rather them teach it another way.
Yeah,
I would rather teach the law, and this is what happens. And then, it's all just speculative, what they teach.
The bar exam was an exhausting 3 days, because I did PA in Jersey. So we did PA on Tuesday, then you do the multi-state on Wednesday, and then I drove down to Atlantic City and took the New Jersey one on Thursday.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you that story, by the way? What happened? What happened to me?
No. What happened to you?
We're using our computers to take the test. It's essay, right?
Ah.
So I'm using the computer, and it was like back in the day, so they didn't do it where it uploaded. They gave you a little thumb drive that you put on your laptop, and you would save everything to the thumb drive, and then you would turn in the thumb drive. I'm in the middle. We're probably like 2 hours in, because it's an all-day thing. We're about 2 hours in. They got us crammed down there in Atlantic City. The person in front of me, he gets up to go to the bathroom. His foot catches on the wire to my computer on my laptop. He rips my laptop off of the desk in the middle of the bar exam. My laptop goes flying.
Oh, no.
The entire room turns around.
That's an ass kicking.
I pick it up. Don't miss a beat. Thankfully, it's fine. Just keep going. Afterward, the kid was petrified to turn around. And then he finally turned around. He goes, I'm so sorry. I go, don't worry about it, man. Everyone came up to me after, like, how did you stay calm? How did you stay calm? I'm like, what was I supposed to do? What am I going to do, overreact?
Wow, look at you.
I mean, it's the biggest day of your life as an
I would have
attorney.
lost my mind.
Race under fire. Bill Collarula.
How to stay calm. Crushed the bar exam, too. Crushed it.
See, we were so happy for you, and then you had to make it about how great you are.
Of course you crushed it. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Up trade finalized. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles and 49ers finalized Bryce Harper trade yesterday. The Eagles sent the edge rusher to San Francisco in exchange for a conditional 2026 fifth-round pick that could turn into a fourth-round pick. OTAs continue today for the Eagles with the second practice open to the media. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio will meet with the media coming up next. We think it's around noon, 12:05. You know what happens here with these pressers. Fangio will be live here, though, on the Mike Missanelli Show. Also, in Eagles news, Brandon Graham's retirement became official yesterday as he was added to the NFL's retired reserve list. And we got the cover of Madden 26 with Saquon Barkley on the cover doing the reverse hurdle. Phillies open up a 3-game series tonight against the Toronto Blue Jays. Christopher Sanchez on the mound for them. The game starts at 7:07. It was originally slated to be Zach Wheeler's start. However, he is away from the team right now as he awaits the birth of his child. The Phillies will look to end a 4-game losing skid tonight in the first of a 6-game road trip. And in Flyers news, Noah Cates has signed a 4-year, $16 million extension to remain with the Fly Guys. This update's brought to you by WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private because your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even WhatsApp. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. 610-632-0975. You know, this has not been a day with a lot of great sports topics. So I thought that, and we have the news at noon coming up at 12 o'clock, of course. But I thought, and we have Vic Fangio coming up. So what comes out first, Ray? Is it Fangio or is it it's Fangio, and then we'll do the news at noon. And then we're going to play, like, Ask Us Anything. You know? There's a lot of people out there that have burning questions to ask us anything.
I'm very intrigued to see where this goes.
Yeah.
What do you think people want to know the most about us?
I really don't know. What do you think that they want to know most about us? Bill, if we gave them a leeway, like a free ride here on Ask Us Anything, what would they ask us?
The three of us?
Yeah.
I think one of the major questions that Ray always gets and I always get, they'd want to know if Ray truly hates me, and they would want to know, how is Mike Miss off air?
Yeah, I would say those are probably the two biggest questions.
Well,
I get asked that. I told you I got asked that in the delivery room.
But how am I on air? That people would ask the question, how is he off air? What am I a maniac on the air? Like, what am I on the air that would precipitate the question, what's he like off the air?
Yeah, I wouldn't say maniac.
Yeah, maniac's definitely not the word.
I'm not a maniac. No, besides that, I think that over the years, I have gotten incredibly calmer.
Maybe. I mean, if this is you
Except
calm.
when I'm doing Mad Dog.
If this is you calm.
You know, I'm pretty logical arguer, right? When I have a point and I believe in it, but I argue it logically. I don't argue it like some volcano.
Yeah. I guess. I mean,
I think people see you so digged into how correct you are in a debate that they might forget you could just have regular conversation like a human sometimes.
Really?
You know what
So
I think?
Off the air, people would think I'd be incapable of having a human conversation.
Not that they think you're incapable of it, but their impression of you over 4 hours is debating sports topics. It's not necessarily always the conversation
So
happening
somebody
off the
sees
air.
me in a bank line. What are you doing at the bank line? I can't believe you're in here when I'm in here. I'm the only one allowed in here. In other words, that would be it, right?
I would say, I think what people, though, would be most surprised about Mike off air is you're a lot quieter. Like, you're more, like, subdued off air.
All right. We'll continue to discuss that. But right now, it's Vic Fangio, the defense coordinator for the Eagles.
Early.
Well, I think the one thing is he was getting better. And when he hurt his hand, he tried to play with it a couple weeks. It wasn't going good because he was reluctant to use his hand. And then when they operated on it, he had to play with a big cast on his hand, which basically rendered his hand useless and then rendered your arm useless because you can't use your hand. That really, had an effect on him. And, we just come out of draft season, and first thing you see when they put a guy's name up on the board, his hand size, his arm length, well, he lost all that. And in that, while he was out, Nolan got more snaps, Jalix got more snaps, and things evolved. But I think he'll do fine in San Francisco.
What kind of role do you envision for Jahad Campbell, and specifically as a pass rusher, how do you evaluate him?
Well, right now he's working at ILB because there's a lot more to learn there. So that's where we'll start him. He won't hit the practice field until, sometime in August. So we're doing all we can. He's doing all he can in meetings. We're doing all we can with him on the field. I take him to the side and do an individual drill with him that's suited to what he can do right now. So he's working good and trying to pick it up.
When you see him, though, do you see pass rush upside with Jahad?
Potentially.
What would it take to realize that?
Getting him out there.
How do you feel about the edge rusher situation? The fact that Sweat is parted, BG has retired, Huff has been traded, and you have two young returning guys, and you have a couple free agents. How do you feel about that position?
Yeah, I feel good about Nolan. I think we'll feel good about Jalix. Now that he's going to get a lot of reps and develop. He played good for us down the stretch last year and played a lot, as you saw. So I feel good about those two guys, and I think they'll continue to improve. You know, we've got Uche, we've got Aziz, we've got 3 other guys there. I think we'll be fine.
What are you looking to find
You're
out
listening
about
to
Cooper
WPEN
as
and
you're,
WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia.
out at base, that corner in that plan right now?
With Cooper DeJean? Yeah, we'd like to keep him at nickel. And then in our base package, we'll find a spot for him, either at corner or safety.
What's the benefit of someone who can play inside at nickel and outside in base? Because you'd have to find, someone at corner at the nickel size with like 80% of snaps.
Yeah, I think a lot of it will end up depending upon how the rest of the guys develop and where do we most need them. So it will be determined by what's best for him and what's best for the team. And it'll probably, what's best for the team will win out in that decision. But he's capable of playing corner and he's capable of playing safety.
What's your
Also,
view of the what?
Who are developing, whether it's Keeley, Matt, Adoree, how do they look and how comfortable are you with them starting on the outside right now?
well, it's always hard to tell this time of year, without the pads on, even at that position. But I think both those guys are making good strides. They're both into it, and they know there's a job there to be had for somebody. And I think they've had good off seasons, both of them.
What's your view of the Cuba Sydney competition?
It's a competition that, it's going to take a training camp, a few preseason games to sort out. And Tristan's in that too.
What do you like about what?
Let's not get too testy there, boys.
What are the pros for Sydney going in terms of having the experience that he has? How does that help him?
Well, his experience came in 23, not 24. Last year at this time, he wasn't doing anything and didn't do anything really till the middle of October. So he lost all the, this time of year, training camp, early part of the season, and really never got many reps with us defensively. He did play in the last game against the Giants and did fine. But, it's a new system from what he had in 23. So, yes, he's sitting in meetings, but that only goes so far. You got to get out there and experience it and build on it. And he lost that last year. So that he's going through that process now, and he's doing fine.
You mentioned Jihad, also N'Kobe's got a difficult rehab. So Trot, you started with Trot. How are you going to work that until those guys are ready? And does Zach play Mike in that situation?
Yeah, well, Zach can play either spot. Again, that will, just like with Cooper, wherever we need him the most, what's best for the team, which will be determined some by who the next guy is until N'Kobe comes back, which, he won't be back for a while. That'll be TBD, that'll be a good question after 2 preseason games.
What do you like about the idea of Cooper at safety and what will go into determining whether he plays at safety or the outside?
Well, I think he would play very well at safety. I think it suits his skill set, things that he does well. I just think he would do very well in there. How many, you guys, we played 21 games last year. How many base snaps do you guys think we played?
20%.
75?
Less than that.
No, you're way off.
30. 10%. 15%.
Yeah, about 160 total.
So
is that part of your philosophy of having your 5 best defensive backs out there in the secondary, no matter?
Well, in last year's case, we evolved to that because once Cooper started to play very well, it got him on the field more. It was a much better fit for our edge guys. They could play nickel end instead of having to play 3-4 outside backer. So last year it was a good fit for where we were personnel-wise. this year that could change.
Where did you factor into the decision to have Jordan Davis pick up his fifth-year option? What does he need to do in his fourth year to warrant that decision?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything to do with that decision. You know, that's Howie's. But Jordan last year, I would say the last 7 or 8 games, including the playoffs, played very well down the stretch. And I think that's carried over into this offseason. And I anticipate it carrying over into the season. I think he's in the best shape that he's ever been in, which he kind of got into late in the season last year, and he's carried it over. So I think he's going to do very well for us this year.
You don't typically see that. Can I just follow up real quick on that? You don't typically see guys get in their best shape late into the season. Why did it take so long for him to get in his best shape?
We could be here a long time for that. Just, you know, it's, for some guys it takes time, but I'm ducking that question.
How is Davis evolved as a pass rusher? Davis, how is he evolved as a pass rusher?
He got better towards the those last 7 or 8 games. He really did. And you saw it in practice first, you know. Unlike a lot of people think you don't need practice, you do need practice. And he showed it in practice first, and then it carried over into the games. And so I think he realized that, felt it, felt good, and he's just carried it over all off season.
In terms of Jalen Carter, Jalen played over 1,000 snaps last year. On the offensive side of the ball, Nick's gotten questions about, you know, Saquon's usage, you know, heavy usage last year. Is that something you have to consider going forward with him, and you're making sure that, you know, he's able to play at a high level, not putting too many snaps on him?
Well, in Jalen's case, the 2 plays he had at the end of the Rams game, which everybody has alluded to many times, those were his 68th and 69th snaps in that game.
I just mean, I don't mean from like, obviously he showed that he was well conditioned last year. I just mean from the perspective of, you know, long term, if he's playing an extreme number of snaps every year, do you worry that his performance can drop off?
He's still a young pup.
And to follow up on that, in terms of Jalen Carter, year 3, Jeremiah Trotter Sr. said on WIP yesterday that he's been hearing from some folks that Jalen doesn't even know how to play the position yet. It was a complimentary fashion in a sense to say that he doesn't even know how to play the position yet. Sky's the limit. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree with the, you know, with the point he's trying to make. I do think Jalen, the good news about Jalen is twofold. One, he played very well for us last year, and 2, he can still improve a lot.
What did you see? You've had Ringo for a full year now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like about, you know, his skill set to play the outside, and where does he still need to improve?
He just needs reps. You know, he needs to learn to play the game, and that comes with reps. And, you know, to quote Nick said in a meeting recently, repetition is the burden of leadership. It's up to us to get him enough reps in practice, expose him to all the things he needs to be exposed to so he can play a full NFL game. When I say full, not physically, conditioning-wise, but be a competent corner throughout a full game and a full season.
Vic, how much did depth have to do with the defense's success last year, and do you think you have that same depth going into this season?
It's too early to say. I mean, I look at it, and I told the players this, I look at this year very similar to last year in that at this time last year, you know, we had a lot of turnover in personnel from the previous year. You know, you had Bond, nobody knew what he was at this point last year. You had Nakobe, who hadn't played any meaningful NFL football in his first 2 years. You had Oren Burks, who we had just signed. You had Isaiah Rodgers, who we had just signed. You had Ojomo, who didn't play hardly at all his rookie year. You got Nolan, who didn't play hardly at all his rookie year. We got Chauncey back. we drafted Q, Cooper, Jalix. We had a lot of, question marks at that time, or you didn't know. This year, those names are replaced. Ringo, Adori, Sidney, McCollum, Ojulari, Uche, Byron Young, Gabe Hall, Booker, Jihad, all the draft picks, Makuba, Robinson, Smile, and then the rest of the rookies. Some of those guys in that second list have to become like those guys in the first list. And I don't know how that's going to turn out, but I look at it as really basically the same one year to the next. The names have changed. Hopefully we'll get the same results from these new guys that we got from a lot of the new guys last year.
What were your thoughts on trading those?
What?
What were your thoughts on trading CJ?
Oh, that was a salary cap type thing, and how he made that decision. I was fine with it.
With Drew Makuba, we talked about Cooper's versatility. Played a lot of slot earlier in his career. Do you see that kind of versatility at least?
We haven't yet, only because we focused him on at safety right now. But we're well aware that he played it in college and might have some ability there too.
Given all that turnover that you talked about, of the three levels of the defense, is there one area where you keep you up most at night, or where you're most curious about what the answer should be?
No, really, it's all of them, because, until Nakobe comes back, which won't be anytime soon, you got that to fill. We got to get guys in our edge rotation, minus the guys we lost last year. You got to replace Milt, and his snaps, which I think will be done with guys we already had here, with the addition of Robinson. Obviously got to have starting safety, a starting corner. So it's kind of spread equally. They all matter.
We've heard the anecdote of you bringing the team together, or the defense together rather, to review the second half of the Super Bowl. Why was that important to you that day to do that?
That was fake news. Yeah. Never did that. I actually brought them together on that day to compliment them on how well they played in the Super Bowl. There was not a negative word spoken.
Glad to clarify that.
Huh?
I'm glad to clarify that.
Fake news.
Thanks, guys.
All right, I guess that was it from Vic. Well, very revealing for Vic Fangio. Very honest assessment.
He always is honest. He's always honest. I mean, a couple of things that jumped out at me during that press conference. Jihad Campbell, first-round draft pick. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were debating, is he going to be an off-ball linebacker? Are they going to convert him to edge rusher? He said he's working primarily as an ILB, interior linebacker. So doesn't look like they're transitioning him to edge rusher. He will, in fact, be a linebacker. I thought what else was interesting, Mike, they asked him about Cooper DeJean. Mm-hmm. And we've been speculating, is he going to stay at nickel? Is he going to move outside? He said they want him to play nickel. Yep. And then in base,
safety.
He mentioned safety.
He did mention safety.
Yeah, which is an interesting
development. He also qualified that by saying we weren't in base very much.
No, they're not in base very often. So Cooper DeJean will be your nickel corner majority of the time. But it's interesting if they cross-train him at safety as well. And then how about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson?
Yeah,
he was all right with it.
He said, well, that was Howie's decision, salary cap, but I was fine with it. Normally you would say, yeah, well, we're going to miss him. He's a very aggressive player, very important for us, but, that's the way things are in the league. Instead, he said, I was fine with it, and that was the end of that. What does that mean? Are we reading too much into that?
Maybe. I think he probably just was trying to squash that there was any disagreement between him and Howie Roseman. Like, Roseman made it for a salary cap. I was fine with it. But I'm sure Chauncey Gardner-Johnson will take it. He's probably already tweeting about it. I'll have to check.
I'm sure he is. He likes Cooper DeJean a lot, you can tell.
What's not to like?
Yeah.
I mean, the kid had an unbelievable rookie season.
So who would be the safety that goes? Who's the starter at safety? The other starter. If Cooper DeJean's in the nickel, who starts at safety? Is it Brown?
Reed Blankenship obviously is one of them.
And Brown.
And then he mentioned it's going to be a competition between Drew Makuba, the draft pick they took in the second round, Sidney Brown, and then he made sure to throw in Tristan McCullum.
Yeah.
Now, if you remember last year, when Chauncey Gardner-Johnson or Reed Blankenship had to come off the field, Sidney Brown was not the immediate backup. It was Tristan McCullum.
Uh-huh.
So they must like this guy, Tristan, and he's played well when he's had opportunities, just been limited. But for Fangio to make sure he threw his name in there, and he said it's going to be a competition. It's going to take training camp and a couple preseason games. That's a competition to watch on this defense. I still think it's going to be the rookie. I think it's going to be Drew Makuba.
But in base, that rookie's out.
Maybe. See, I think what's going to happen, the reason why I think he opened the door there, when they go base, you got to figure out what's the lesser of the two evils. Putting Cooper DeJean at that other safety position and starting, let's say, a Keely Ringo or a Dory Jackson at the outside corner.
Yeah.
Or do you put Cooper at corner and then keep Makuba? See, I think it's going to come down to, do they trust Makuba, McCullum, or Brown more than they trust a Dory Jackson or Keely Ringo at corner? That'll be the big question.
All right, let's take a break. And on the other side, we could talk about what you just heard from Fangio or anything else on your mind. We'll go back to the text board. But also, I'm opening up. Ask us anything.
Yeah, people are already saying I'm an open book, so they don't have any other questions
Ask us anything.
for me.
But, of course, this is going to be after the news at noon. So store up your questions. Ask us anything, and we'll reveal it. It's the Mike Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Up trade finalized. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles and 49ers finalized Bryce Harper trade yesterday as the Eagles sent the edge rusher to San Francisco in exchange for a conditional 2026 fifth-round pick that could turn into a fourth-round pick. Now the Eagles continue OTAs today with the second practice that is open to the media. And you just heard from defensive coordinator Vic Fangio meeting with the media. Some takeaways from that. A lot of the conversation around the versatility of Cooper DeJean, where he will play in their base defense. Does not look like rookie John Campbell's getting onto the practice field until August. That safety competition right now between Drew Makuba, Sidney Brown, and Tristan McCullum. The three of them all battling for that second safety spot. Jordan Davis in the shape of his life, and Fangio was okay with the CJ Gardner-Johnson trade. So a lot in that Fangio presser. We'll continue to react with you at 610-632-0975. Also, yesterday, Brandon Graham's retirement became official as he was added to the NFL's retired reserve list, and we got to see the cover of Madden 20 or Madden 26 with Saquon Barkley on that cover. Phillies open up a 3-game series tonight against the Toronto Blue Jays. Christopher Sanchez on the mound at 7:07. Zach Wheeler was originally slated to get the start. He's away from the team as he awaits the birth of his child. So the Phillies looking at a 4-game losing skid tonight against the Blue Jays, first of a 6-game road trip. And Noah Cates has signed a 4-year, $16 million extension with the Flyers. This update is brought to you by Erie Insurance. Celebrating 100 years protecting your family's most priceless moments. Then, now, always Erie Insurance. ErieInsurance.com. That's ErieInsurance.com. I'm Ray Dunn for 97.5 The Fanatic.
12:24, 12 o'clock hour of the Mike Missanelli Show. It's brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. I had to put a filter in my heating system yesterday. You ever do that?
You asking me or Ray?
Your big heating thing. Your heating
big HVAC guy.
You got to put. There's a filter that goes into it.
Yeah, you replace that.
Replace the filter.
Yeah.
You always know when the temperature gets off. It's always the filter. Have you noticed that?
How often you change that?
I don't know. I don't know. I had to go buy some. I figured I go upstairs and it was way hot upstairs. I go, it's that filter thing again. So you got to climb all the way in the attic. My attic, I have to stoop to like it. It's a low hang of like the beams are like 4 feet. So I got to like duck under there and get to the heating unit and take that filter out and slide another one in. A lot of people don't know to do that. But that's a simple fix for your HVAC system.
Yeah, you're reminding me. I don't know if I've done it.
You got to do it. You got to check it out. When you take it out, it's filthy.
Yeah, it is. It is filthy.
It is.
And then you realize you're breathing all that crap in. It is filthy.
So I had to go to the Lowe's and stock up on some filters.
So you're a Lowe's guy, not a Home Depot.
No. Whatever's closest.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Wherever I was at the time, the closest one is where I go.
Yeah, close to me is Home Depot.
I think Lowe's is more organized and cleaner.
Home Depot, it's always excuse me, where can I find? And they're always willing to help.
You have to do that at Lowe's too, but Lowe's seems to be more structured.
Interesting.
That's just my opinion.
I'll let you know next time I'm at Lowe's picking up my tools.
Oh, yeah.
In any event, it's past noontime now, but it's only half hour. You're going to take your lunch at this time. You'll be entertained by what we call the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Oh, the news at noon today. I always love these irrelevant podcasters going at each other. you might think they're like curing world hunger. The way these guys take themselves so seriously. But Ray, what is our first story on the news at noon?
Podcaster on podcaster crime
there
here.
You go.
We've got two guys at the top of the podcasting game dueling with one another. In one corner, Bill Simmons on his Rewatchables podcast. Not even a sports podcast here. We're talking about rewatching movies, but whatever. He brings up Pablo Torre as like a little throwaway line. They find out that he is actually living at Pablo Torre for going on a media tour following the Bill Belichick, Jordan Hudson reporting he's been doing. It's Bill Simmons. First Pablo Torre. Here is Bill Simmons ripping into Torre's report.
Pablo Torre would have done a long podcast about Leo Farnsworth trying to practice with the team and then done a media tour about it afterwards. Guy, bro. I've never seen anybody dying on the stupider story for a week and a half. While pretending you're a journalist. What the was that?
Whoa!
Seriously.
What the
Check's dating a girl. Oh, let me do 9 shows about it.
I can't tell. Are you
down?
If this was about Jeffrey Lurie, though, would you be like, we got to get Pablo Torre on the thing,
right? Like, why are you getting him?
All right, you don't need to do a media tour.
It was
about
a story
fucking
that
podcast.
everybody was talking
That's
about.
fine.
To be
You
fair,
can do 2 shows. About
Yeah.
it.
Oh, a couple things to unpack here. It sounds like Bill Simmons, little jelly. Also, it seems like he doesn't like anybody going after his boy Belichick, right?
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, I think that is what it is.
And it's a little Pablo Torre's getting a little too much acclaim, and I should get all the acclaim type of thing, right? All those mixed together.
We've got a response, and we now apparently are going to have a Bill Simmons, Pablo Torre podcast going back and forth over this exchange. Because Torre said, if you want to talk to me, dear Bill Simmons, since you have such a strong public opinion about my work, I happen to have a few questions for you specifically. Unless you're afraid of, in the Atz's podcast, and someone, quote, just pretending to be a journalist, of course. Thanks, Pablo. And now, according to Dan Lebensard, Pablo Torre is going on the Bill Simmons podcast.
Oh, really? They're going to hash it out, are they?
Apparently so.
So it could get nasty if Torre sounds like he's got some goods on Bill that he wants to bring up.
I'd be excited for it.
You would?
Yeah.
Can I ask the question? Because I'm not. I don't really patronize a lot of these self-important people that make themselves important somehow. what is Pablo Torre's importance? How did he get to where he is?
He was a journalist. He worked for Sports Illustrated.
He did?
He
was a Sports Illustrated journalist?
Yes, he started in like their fact-checking department, and then he did the story about how athletes go broke that kind of was served as the point for that 30 for 30 of broke, where they did the whole thing on how athletes lose their money. So his story was kind of the basis off of that. I think
doesn't Simmons produce those 30 for 30s?
Not anymore.
Oh, not anymore.
Not anymore. No, he's just with the Ringer, his media entity.
All right.
So I think that served as the launching pad, and then Torrey was on all those different ESPN shows, the Around the Horns.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did a cup of coffee on First Take. And then I think he kind of broke off with that media company that Dan Le Batard started, and he's been doing this podcast where he just does like basically the equivalent of magazine journalism, but instead it's audio form.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not that familiar with it.
But
okay, I'm a fan.
But is this a violation, though? So Bill Simmons comes after him for going on a full media tour about the Belichick thing. But now Bill Simmons is going to benefit from now going on with Pablo Torre to talk about this.
Well,
Bill Simmons is having him on, so he's continuing the media tour that he was against.
It's on his turf.
Yeah, it's a critical thing,
okay,
for sure.
So it's even worse. So Simmons is now going to benefit from this media tour.
Yeah,
correct.
Frankly, listen, I'm not a fan of Simmons, but I think he's right about this whole thing. I know everybody blows this whole story up. To me, it's about a guy dating a younger girl because he's in a late life crisis. And that's the extent of it. I don't go beyond the ramifications of what it is.
You're leaving out a key part to that.
What's that?
It's not only an older guy dating a younger girl. It's an older guy named Bill Belichick. That's the whole thing. It's Bill Belichick of all people.
I get it. But I go, okay, everybody's entitled to live their own life the way they want to live it. Who am I to question what he wants to do? Why do you question it?
I'm obsessed with this story.
You are obsessed with it.
I find it riveting.
Fascinating.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. Second story.
And to be clear, not just dating, allegedly engaged. Moving on. Take after Mike's own heart here. ESPN's Tim McMahon was on the Hoop Collective podcast, which is Brian Windhorst, and decided out of nowhere, let's just take a shot at Dallas Star fans and hockey. Listen to McMahon, his take on hockey.
Here's the thing. I'll just tell you real honestly, Texas folks who are hockey fans, it's because they don't know anything about real sports. Oh my God. They don't know crap about football. They don't know crap about basketball. They don't know crap about baseball. And so
Toronto better not make it back to the finals anytime soon because if McMahon is at the finals in Toronto, he's going to get taken down.
Hockey's like this newfangled hipster thing down here in Texas.
They've been there 25 or 30 years.
Okay, that's fairly newfangled to me. I was a teenager when they started bringing these stupid hockey fans.
That was a long time ago, buddy.
Okay, well, I have not grown up since then.
This is less for my story than it is for Bill's story. Bill, are you offended by what Tim McMahon said?
Yeah, it's a ridiculous take.
Basketball superiority, Bill?
No, it's a ridiculous take. So he's saying the only reason you would like hockey is because you don't know anything about the other sports? Was that the crux of his argument?
It's not that far away from the truth there. I don't know if Flyer fans know a lot about the other sports in this town. They know about the Eagles. They don't know anything about basketball. Flyer fans don't know anything about hoops in this town.
So if you follow hockey, you don't know anything about basketball.
No,
that's ridiculous.
It's either when you're a hockey fan, you don't want to even patronize basketball because it's a competitor in that season to you. You know how provincial hockey fans are. They want to pretend that the NBA doesn't exist. Come on, Bill.
I think you're painting with a broad brush.
It's a broad brush that paints the right wall. That's for sure.
Paint your sister, as Mike would say.
Right? He's not that far off from the truth. Hockey fans know less about other sports. In this town, they know a lot about the Eagles hockey fans. They don't know anything about basketball.
I'm going to disagree with him on that one. I just thought you would enjoy that take.
All right. Okay.
It sounded like Mike.
Tim McMahon's my kindred.
We'll see if we can get him on to talk hockey with you. All right, last one for you. Kayvon Thibodeau of the Giants went on Kevin Hart's Cold as Balls podcast and said this about Eagles fans.
Giants. Is it true that Eagles fans are actually not smart?
Not like no bullshit. Like I know you're one of them, so I get it. Like 2.2, I get it.
What do you?
They're like statistics that you guys are like literally.
I mean, can I?
You're literally bleeping idiots.
Who said that?
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Thibodeau.
What did Kevin Hart say?
Edge rusher for the Giants. He looked like he was. I saw the clip, Ray.
Was he shell-shocked?
He did. He looked shocked. Like, I can't believe you're saying this. Do you realize what you're doing right now?
He just Jared versed himself.
What did Kayvon Thibodeau think he is? What's he got? 1.5 sacks in 4 years?
I was just looking up his stats because he's been
an underachiever. He's a classic example of a guy who thinks he's better than he is.
Yeah, look, his second year he had 11.5 sacks. But last year, 5.5 as a rookie, 4. I mean, the kid has potential, there's no doubt. But come on, man, you play for the Giants.
He's been an underachiever since he's been in the league, except for briefly.
You play for the Giants. Well, he just became public enemy number 1 in the city of Philadelphia.
But Kevin Hart got to represent. Kevin Hart was, you can't be quiet. Of all people, he all of a sudden is quiet? Kevin Hart? What?
I can't believe that podcast is still going on.
The coldest balls one? I know. Yeah. Well, if they didn't have the gimmick of sitting in the cold tubs, I don't know if it would still be going on.
Would you rather that one or hot ones? Which one do you think you last longer on?
Oh, if I was on it? Like me personally?
Cold tub, hot wings. Which
I
one?
would rather do the cold tub than the hot. The hot, I think.
I couldn't do a cold tub, man.
So you could eat the hotness?
I'd try it. Cold tub and I would not get along. I'm Mediterranean.
It's supposed to be good for you.
Yeah, I know.
The cold plunges.
No,
I'm out on the cold tub.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, come on.
I know what it would be.
That's such a shock. It's like shock to your system. It's like, yeah.
See, I thought
it's not pleasurable.
I thought for sure I just set myself up. Like you were going to be like, oh, of course you would do the one with your shirt off.
I didn't even hear it. Most of the time I've decided to tune out your little comments. 610-632-0975. Don't forget, it's a major announcement coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. Not sure when I want to do it. I think I want to do it early.
Uh-oh. Major announcement. Stay tuned.
610-632-0975. Back after this.
Connor Thomas.
Lazar's big one.
41, Mike Missanelli Show. Phillies back at it tonight, trying to break a 4-game losing streak with Bryce Harper back in the lineup. We've already detailed his health regimen. Blue Jays, 31-28, 20-12 at home. Second place to the Yankees, although they're 5.5 behind. Bowden Francis, 29-year-old right-hander, 2-6, 5.04 ERA versus Christopher Sanchez. The Phillies a monster favorite at minus 150. But the last time out, Bowden Francis, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs.
So we'll see. Maybe the day off, Bryce Harper coming back. The boys will be fired up tonight, Mike. You still have any ill will towards Toronto after what happened in '93? Are you over that by now?
I never had ill will in the first place.
You don't
why would you have ill will against Toronto?
Well, look, I'm 10 years old.
Uh-huh.
That was my first major heartbreak.
Yeah,
as a kid.
Was that their fault or was it the Phillies' fault?
Well, it was Mitch Williams' fault. Well, Fergosi for putting Williams in. But I still, when I see the Blue Jay logo, it's the first childhood trauma that I had as a Philadelphia sports fan.
You know, that was Game 6, too. The Phillies had to win another game.
They did, but they should have won that game. Joe Carter. Ray, did you grow up hearing about Joe Carter?
Yes.
Can you actually hate a team from Toronto?
I don't know if it's hate, and maybe ill will is a bad term for it. But there is some PTSD when I see the Blue Jay logo.
What was Joe Carter supposed to do? Pop that up? Or you going to blame Joe Carter?
Stare at it. Let it go down the dish.
Mitch Williams, man.
You know, what happened in that game, though? Didn't he take out somebody that he should have taken out? Was it Roger Mason that he took out?
I don't remember the details.
Instead of letting him continue. Yeah, look at that box score. I think somehow it was Roger Mason was successful and he took him out because this is what he always did. And, he uses Mitch in any situation.
That's a good call by you. I think Roger Mason had pitched 2 1/3. I don't know when he came in, though. I got to check the box score better. Hold on, because what I have doesn't have it. Yeah, like Larry Anderson pitched.
Larry Anderson was gassed. I remember seeing him. He was sweating profusely. He had nothing. Did he get out of the inning?
He pitched 2/3, walked 1, didn't give up any runs. Terry Mulholland pitched 5 as the starter in that game, but gave up 5 earned, so not a great outing by Mulholland.
Yeah.
And then
Mason. Is he in the game?
Mason pitched 2 1/3.
Yeah.
Only gave up 1 hit, struck out 2.
That's what they were saying, that they should have continued to continue with Mason in there.
And then Mitch Williams gave up 3 earned.
What are you going to do? That Toronto team was probably better than the Phillies anyway that year.
Oh, man. That one still hurts.
All right, back to the text board. We got an Ask Anything text. This is a special Ask Us Anything type of situation here. We haven't done this in a really long time. I don't think we've done this ever. Ask Us Anything. But, Ray, what's the text board asking?
Clutch asking, Mike has been at press conferences. I've always wondered how the Q&A part works. You hear a bunch of guys start talking, and eventually one guy wins. Is there a pecking order or something? A peek under the hood would be awesome.
Yeah, there is not a pecking order when it comes to these press conferences. The national press conferences, there's always an orchestrator there who will call on people so it doesn't get to be mayhem. It does almost seem like the loudest voice gets the greasy wheel. What is it? The squeaky wheel gets the
oil.
Yeah.
Is it the squeaky wheel
gets the grease?
Yeah.
Or oil. One or the other. But that's what it seems like. When you talk over somebody and your voice carries better, that's usually the question that's answered.
When they do them on Zoom, though, they'll always be like, Dave Zingaro and then Ruben Frank.
Yeah.
They tell you who's doing it.
They did that during COVID, I think.
They still do Zoom
do they?
during the week in the season.
Okay.
It's not always live.
Okay. Yeah. So it's got to be orchestrated when it's on Zoom, obviously.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Chris, and he's calling from the Philly airport. Chris, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for taking my call. Hey, Bill and Ray. You guys are great. I was a long-time listener. Disappointed when you stepped away for a little while, but with the Ask Us Anything, I always thought about it since last summer when you guys started. I was curious about the inception process to the three of you coming together, like how that happened, like what the evaluation process to bring the three the three of you together.
Yeah.
It works great.
Well, that's fantastic. You're really going to love what we had to say in the 1 o'clock hour, though. but how we got together, was just kind of like happenstance. When they asked me to come back, they posed Bill as somebody who would maybe join me on the air, and I said absolutely, because I had worked with Bill before. We had done a football post-game show. And then with Ray, who was already here, we thought we had a generations blend. So from day one, we just tried to make it work.
It's a good synergy. I got a suggestion on the HVAC filter change as well.
Oh, okay. What do you got?
So the filter companies, if you read the packaging, they'll tell you got to change it every 90 days.
Yeah.
I believe twice a year is good enough. So for me, I do it when I turn the AC on, and then in the fall when I turn the heat on is when I make the change. But I'm curious, Mike, when you did yours, did you check the condensation drip line?
No, I did not. I did not check the condensation drip line, but I know what you're talking about because that line can freeze, right?
Yeah, in the springtime particularly, because over the winter it doesn't do as much dripping as it does in the spring, and that 1-inch PVC line can build up like a barrel.
Yeah, I've had that problem before where they had to take a blow dryer and melt that ice off it. Well, let me ask you this, because I went in the attic yesterday to put this filter in. It was furnace hot, and I thought that was unusual for that time of year. Is that indicating another problem?
I don't think so. I just think that's the nature of an attic. I don't know what time of day you did it. For me, I would have probably done it about 8 or 9 o'clock.
I did it at like 3:30.
Yeah, well, it's peak heat, right? So.
Yeah, but it wasn't hot. I thought it was blast furnace. I was unusually hot. I didn't expect it to be unusually hot, so I thought maybe there's not there was no airflow going outside it. Maybe my fan was on the blink.
Yeah, there you go. Could be that. I'm not an HVAC guy. I just.
Okay, I thought you were, Chris.
I take the filter change twice a year, rather serious, because I had the condensation line overflow on me and flood my kitchen out. So.
Yeah, no, I hear you, Chris. Thanks for the call. Thanks for that advice.
Yeah. So Chris went twice a year. My father-in-law texted during the break. Change filter at least twice a year, and then thankfully he told me yours was changed in fall. We'll do it again now.
Oh, we're talking about you? Oh, my. I bought...
Give me a break. Thanks, Dad.
I bought four. I bought two packs yesterday. So I would have them because I was bereft of a filter.
So you got them now for another 2 years.
So if you bought two of them, two packs, you got them for $26. Otherwise, they were like $30 for two filters.
Oh, it's a no-brainer then.
No, that's outrageous. Don't you think, for a filter?
Well, they know they got you. You got to change them.
And they're 3M. I didn't go cheap.
No, I wouldn't expect you to.
I went to 3Mers.
I would not expect you to go
610-632-0975. Ask us anything right now on the Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Trade finalized. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles and 49ers finalized the Bryce Harper trade yesterday. The Eagles sent the edge rusher to San Francisco in exchange for the conditional 2026 fifth-round pick that can turn into a fourth-round pick. OTAs continue today for the Eagles with the second practice that is open to the media. You heard from Vic Fangio live here on these airwaves earlier this hour. Talked about Chad Campbell's injury, not expecting him until August, not expecting a Kobe Dean for quite a while. There was a lot of talk about the versatility of Cooper DeJean and where he can play in that secondary. Drew Makuba, Sidney Brown, and Tristan McCullum all in the mix for that second safety spot. And Jordan Davis is in the shape of his life. Some of the takeaways from what Fangio had to say. Elsewhere in Eagles news, yesterday Brandon Graham's retirement became official as he was added to the NFL's retired reserve list. And we got to see the cover of Madden 26 with Saquon Barkley on it. Phillies open up a 3-game series with the Blue Jays tonight. Christopher Sanchez getting the start. The game starts at 7:07. It was originally supposed to be Zach Wheeler's start, but he's now away from the team as he awaits the birth of his child. Phillies looking to end a 4-game losing skid tonight in the first of a 6-game road trip. And in Flyers news, Noah Cates signing a 4-year, $16 million extension. This update is brought to you by the Electrical Workers Local 269, the Electrical Training Alliance, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 269. And Electrical Training Alliance can offer a career with no college debt. To learn more, go to IBEW269.com. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
Let's get back to the text board. Anybody asking us anything? I think so.
Tom in Florida here. 3 questions for us. And I can answer the first one for him. Has Ray figured out his living rental issue? I have. So I will be in a home by the beginning of August.
That's reveal. You figure out your rental situation. Spill it.
I did. I literally found a place, same price, right around the corner.
She's at same price right around the corner. Now, you're going to move, like, you and your roommate going to move stuff by hand to the same neighborhood?
Some of it, I imagine, I'll just carry down the street.
Yeah, you can carry it down the street. Or otherwise, how are you moving?
Going to find a bigger car and throw some stuff in it.
So you will not hire a truck?
No. I feel like it's too close of a move to hire the truck. It's just going to be one day where I hate everything. I'm going to be incredibly moody that day. I'll tell you, August 2nd. So if August 2nd, mark it in your calendars, I'm going to be a bear to deal with. Because I'll be thinking about the move later.
Just take the whole day off and move.
Yeah, well, it's only so many times you take time off. I'll just do it that afternoon.
You're thinking about moving as an older man. Ray's not moving a bunch of stuff. Like when I think about moving now, I got to move a ton of stuff.
A sofa. He's got beds.
Yeah, you don't have a lot to move.
What are you talking about?
Sofa and beds and
I got a
bureaus.
couch. I got a bed. I got the dresser. I got a desk.
Yeah. It is nowhere near the level of moving when you're moving an entire family.
I don't want to hear about it because your father-in-law would carry everything for you.
Yeah, did you?
I hire movers.
I did too.
Yeah, of course.
I would not. Yeah, it's worth it.
When I was Ray's age, get a couple friends and move some stuff.
Yeah.
Then you get to be a grown up and you go, it's worth every penny to have movers in. And it's, you know what it is? It's even worth every penny for them to pack all your stuff.
I've never done that.
Clothes and stuff. Again, knock yourself out.
I never done the packing, but Ray, it's not as expensive as you think, and it is
totally worth it.
Yeah,
but not at his age.
No, I'm going to offer beers to a couple friends, and we'll make an afternoon out.
What other questions are there?
How often does Bill use the kids' excuse and then spin off with the wife to go bar, restaurant, museum, movie?
I don't think Bill's that type of guy. He's not a sneak. When he uses the kid excuse, it's legit because he's under his wife's thumb.
That's not true. That's not true. We have a very equal relationship.
Yeah, but I want you to answer the question originally posed.
I've never. Sometimes I'll joke and say the kids, even when I don't have the kids. But I'm not sneaking off to go out. What I'm probably doing is getting a night of just watching TV.
He can't even go golfing with his buddies.
That's been hard. That's been hard.
So
yeah, it's been hard. It's been it's the baby.
Keep it in the holster.
It's the baby.
You'd be golfing right now. Can I tell
You're probably right.
All right. And what else you go? What's the third question?
And the third question is asking why didn't the Mike Miss and Nikki Glazer date happen?
Oh,
the date?
That's that. I'm reading the question. That was what was asked.
You told us you took your shot.
It was a semi shot though. It was like a radio shot. But now it's like the question.
Well, now she's a big star.
Oh, she's a huge star.
Yeah, but
can't even get her to come on the air
award show.
again.
Yeah, she is.
She's turned into a monster star. I don't even know if she would take my call. To be honest with you.
Wait, isn't she coming to town again, or did that pass?
I had the digits too.
Send her a text right now. See if she responds.
No, I go through her girl now. She has a girl.
Oh, Nikki Glazer
arranges all of her stuff now.
All right, she will be here.
I guarantee you she changed that number.
September, she'll be here.
Yeah. I was trying to get her on. She was here in the spring. I was trying to get her on, and it didn't go anywhere. So it's difficult.
She's going to be here for 4 nights.
Yeah. I'd love to get her on.
All right.
Yeah. You're not going to be part of the interview, but...
you're afraid. Well, both of us are taken, so neither one of us would shoot our shot this time around.
Any event.
Ray's got a shot. Ray, you got a shot.
She's too old.
Yeah, I got Ben Simmons' shot.
She's too old for Ray. She's got a steady boyfriend.
You think that stops Ray Dunn?
She's been with this guy for a lot.
When they see Ray Dunn,
like a producer.
Ray always says, "What's your man got to do with me? I got a man."
You're listening.
Yeah, who are we listening to, Mike?
97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia. It is a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. It is 1 o'clock. Let's go to the phones to start the 1 o'clock hour because Jerry from my favorite city of Burlington, New Jersey, is on the line. Jerry, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Jerry?
Man, Mikey Miss, man. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I love you and Steve Fredericks. I've been listening to you for years, and I'm listening to your air conditioner problem.
Uh-huh.
Guess what?
What?
It's easy. It is so easy. I was really embarrassed. What they do is they come in. There is a red brush right by the drain line. You take that red brush out, you go through the drain line, and all of a sudden the thing works.
I don't even know where the drain line is, bro. I gotta be honest with you.
You will.
I got listen. Here's what I got. It's not. It wasn't. It was fine. It got a little hot up there because I think the filter. Once I replaced the filter, it was easy peasy. It was like the airflow. Yeah. So yeah. So are you talking about my main unit is in the attic, or are you talking about the AC units that are outside?
Oh, gotcha. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
If you're outside, if you're inside, there is a drain line that goes there. That drain line will shut everything down once it gets plugged. It's a safety thing.
Okay.
You take that little red brush and you just go zip.
Now wait a
zip,
minute. Where's
zip,
this?
zip.
Where is this?
I was embarrassed.
Where is this little red brush?
Yeah, take a look on the side of your AC unit. Take a look on the side of your heater. There's a little red brush that's connected to them.
I've never seen a little red brush. Now, I haven't examined it with a fine-tooth comb, but
I haven't.
I want to get in and out of that attic because I'm broiling.
Mike.
All right. Now, what about this exhaust fan? Do I have an exhaust fan problem if it was so hot in the attic?
The exhaust fan problem? Get a bigger one. I don't know what to tell you, man.
All right. I just didn't know. I thought it was unusually hot. Maybe I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, Mike. I don't know, man. That I can't help you with.
Okay.
My son's an electrician. He told me what the hell was
Okay.
going on.
All right, Jerry. I'm going to look for that red brush, and we're going to clear the drain line.
Just run it through. Run it through real quick. Everything should start working. If it don't, call me up and call me a stew nut.
All right. You got it, Jerry.
Yeah. YouTube's weighing in.
Oh, what?
Saying that not all units will have that brush.
Oh, okay.
That not all have that system.
I don't think I have that brush.
I haven't
never
seen it on mine
at any level. But as soon as I replace the filter, I'm good. It's back to normal.
Yeah, then you'll be fine.
Yeah,
this is the beauty of though what Ray Dunn deals with. When you're apartment living, you don't deal with any of this crap. You don't have to worry about taking care of anything. You just call the landlord. I loved apartment living. Loved it.
No. Why don't you just light your money afire? In apartment living, you just get a match and go.
See, some would make the argument that home ownership is lighting your money on fire.
But you're not.
Constantly putting money in your house.
You got equity.
I've got an idea. You and the crew move into the apartment I'm renting. I'll move into your house, and I'll take care of everything with the house. You enjoy apartment living.
I got a better idea. You just move in with us, right?
Nope. Worst
How
idea.
nice would
that was
be?
actually of all the realities.
How
that
nice
was the
would that
worst
be, right?
reality.
You're paying a monthly rent that is a mortgage payment where you could develop equity.
You can, but you do put I got people laying sod today at the house. They ripped up the lawn. They're putting the sprinkler system in. We're laying sod today,
and you wouldn't have to worry about that if you were in an apartment.
No,
but you'd be paying money away after throwing it out the window.
Maybe
with no equity.
Assuming you bought the house and it increases in value.
This sod is going to grow. It's going to be actual grass that grows.
Correct.
Are you going to mow it?
Someone will mow it, yes. A service will mow it.
No, you got sod now. You got gold they're putting down in your lawn. Don't you take any pride in you're now having gold?
I'll tell you what I'm going to take pride in. I can't wait to take off my shoes and socks and walk on the nice sod under your feet. Because it's been a mess since we moved in, that front lawn. We finally threw in the towel, me and the neighbor, because we moved in together and we both got it.
Do you own any piece of equipment? Any
gym equipment?
No, any home equipment. Do you own a rake? Do you own a shovel? Do you own, I don't know, whatever. The household tools.
I will say that there is a rake and snow shovels in my garage that were put there by my father-in-law.
Do you own a weed whacker?
I do not. I don't own one.
How do you not own a weed whacker?
I don't own anything that would work on the lawn. I don't know. I have a lawnmower, a weed whacker, a hedge trimmer. I don't have any of it.
Well,
I don't want one.
A hedge trimmer might be a little excessive, but a weed whacker is essential. Did you have weeds that grow around your fences areas and anything like that?
The lawn service takes care of all that, I think, don't they? Ray, I'm telling you, you're going to hate home ownership when you finally buy a house. Does Mr. Dunn take care of the lawn? Is he a big lawn guy?
He now does. We've gone back and forth. We've gone sometimes with lawn service, sometimes not. He likes mowing the lawn. It was more of a...
See, that would never happen in my house growing up. There would never be a payment for somebody to do your own lawn.
Oh, yeah.
That would never happen.
My grandfather would never allow it either.
Never happen. That you would never go to a car wash. That these little things would never happen. You would never get cable TV.
Cable TV.
We had the first television that we could get channels, but we had an antenna, a rotating antenna. My father worked for RCA, and he, at one point of his life, put up antennas. So we had the first roving antenna where you used to have a box. You press a box, and it would go north, and you could get New York stations.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, so everybody would come over to my house.
Is that when you fell in love with the Knicks?
No.
Was it back when you were a kid?
You couldn't get Knicks games. You could get Mets games. That was it. You couldn't even get Yankee games. 610-632-0975. On the other side, a major announcement coming your way.
ESPN's Adam Schefter.
I'm not saying that they're not, but
Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. Oh, what is that? Is that the Rocky Bells indicating something big is coming our way?
This song always gives you the goosebumps, doesn't it?
It does. Turn it off. Turn it off. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we, right here at this show, Mike Missanelli Show, we've done 200-plus shows since we debuted this show last August. We didn't know where it was going, but it has been tremendously fun. And I'm saying this sorrowful, but with a lot of glee, that this is our last show as a team. And the reason for that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is that Bill Colarulo is moving up in the world. Bill Colarulo will be moving full-time to co-host the afternoon show. Ray, where's the applause? And Bernie, what does Bernie have to say about that? Bernie? What? Bernie says what? Yeah, let me just say this, because Bill has certainly paid his dues. He has really hooked on to this sports talk thing in a very short time, making a very difficult adjustment into this world of talk radio after giving up his law practice. And he is now hitting the big time as co-host of the Fanatic Afternoon Show. So, Bill, congratulations. How do you feel?
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Look, it's bittersweet. It's obviously a great opportunity. I'm excited to get to work with Ricky Batalico and Silvana Kelleher, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I was going to miss the hell out of you and Ray Dunn. We did. We had a lot of fun on this show. It was a really good show. We got a lot of positive feedback about it. So it's a bittersweet day. So today will be my last day on the Mike Missanelli Show. This is it, man.
Well, crazy. Congratulations from the bottom of our heart, moving up in the world. And like I said before, you've paid a lot of dues to try to make it in this industry, and now the opportunities. And I think you have a big future ahead of you. You're a young man still, and you got many years of sports talk radio to give to the people of the Delaware Valley.
Yeah, I hope you're right, Mike. I do. I really appreciate you. I've told you that off air. I appreciate you a lot. And you're not getting rid of me. I'm hoping to stop by every once in a while to annoy you and Ray on air.
We don't want you to stop by.
Oh, I will be.
Once you leave here, that's the end.
There will be no Sirianni slander allowed on this show when I'm not here. I will be checking
the
in.
dumbest coach in the world.
Yeah. So again, we had really good groove on this show, good chemistry, and so where this particular show goes, I mean, it will carry on with me and Ray and whatever plans are up the road. But this is a big day for Bill Colarulo. He left the law profession not knowing what was ahead of him as you made this venture. Out of the blue, and you decided to bet on yourself. And look at you now.
Yeah, it was a big leap of faith. So hopefully the good vibes continue. I learned a lot on this show. Had a lot of fun on this show. Hoping to carry that over in the afternoon. So the new afternoon show will launch Monday, June 9th, which happens to be my birthday. Ironically enough. So Monday is my birthday and the first show that me, Ricky, and Sil will do together.
So what are you doing the rest of the week? Freeloading?
A lot of prep, a lot of planning, apparently. So we'll see. Maybe I could squeeze golf in. I don't know. I haven't golfed all season. I don't know if I can get
You're going to
golfing.
be off the next few days?
I'll be around. I'll actually be here tomorrow. I know
I take back everything I just said.
They give me 3 days off?
5-day weekend this guy gets.
It's unbelievable.
I'll be doing some work, and I'll be checking in. So, Ray, no slander while I'm not on the air.
There'll be plenty of slander.
I'll tell you, the Missanelli coaching tree, it is unbelievable. It spreads many limbs.
I'll tell you what, that coaching tree is growing, man. I'm just hoping that I can do it justice, that coaching tree. You got a lot of tentacles out there.
Well, you better. God damn it. I mean, I guess we had to bleep that.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to bleep that.
So we got 45 minutes to have some fun.
Go. Yeah, so here we go. This is the last chance you'll have to talk to us as a group. And so here are the numbers, 610-632-0975. Anything that's on your mind, any comments you want to make, anything you heard on this show, it had a brief run. Like, we didn't make a year.
I know it was brief, but it was memorable, and it's something that I'll always remember and look back on fondly. I had a lot of fun with you and Ray. And can we finally dispel the fact that people think Ray hates me? But then I thought that was all just a shtick.
Ray's delighted by this announcement.
Mike,
Look at him.
I thought it was a shtick. A shtick.
He's totally delighted.
Ray says today,
deal with you anymore ever.
I go in there to talk to him. He ignores me, and he says to Brandon, can you please tell Bill that since I'm no longer paid to talk to him that I won't be? Ray's keeping it going.
My agreement.
Yeah. He's keeping it going.
Well, there you go. All right, so whatever thoughts you have, what is the chat board? So the chat board was saying, it's probably one of those another dopey announcements where you win a contest or something, right?
Yeah, people thought it was going to be a fan fest announcement.
Oh, it's a big announcement. It's a major announcement.
Yeah, but you kind of hinted towards it last week, and the avid listeners remembered when you said last week, someone called in and said how much they love the show. You said, don't get used to it.
Oh, did I say that?
Yeah, so I think people had that in their mind a little bit.
Well, hey, what are you going to do? You know, this business is weird and wacky, and it bounces from here to there. So there's where we are. Do we have any texts yet, Ray, on this major announcement?
I'm sure we do. We need one more performance of Sirianni Love. I'll name texter on that one.
Well, you can do that on the next show.
Yeah, what are we going to do? Because Mike was my share. Well, I guess I was share.
Yeah.
And you were Sonny.
My background voice is gone now.
We own the masters to that, actually. So you're going to have to pay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Sirianni Love can carry over without you two.
Taylor Swift style. You're going to have to pay us for that song. It's your song, but we own it.
I got to buy the catalog back?
You got to buy the catalog back. Sorry.
How do I earn it back?
You pay my rent for the month of September. Till the Eagles lose, you pay my rent. Nice congrats from John and Ardmore. Bill has a few days to catch up on chores and lawn work. Maybe he will make his first experience with a rake or a shovel. Yeah, we got people. Congratulations are flowing in. And a lot of people saying they enjoyed the trio, that they enjoyed the banter we had between the three of
there
us.
You go. No Bill haters?
Oh, I'm sure they'll come out.
No. And to be clear, I'm usually the one that would amplify the voices of people going after Bill.
Yeah. All right. So. Well, maybe we'll get a couple. Just hang in there. Meanwhile, let's go to the phones. A lot of people now want to talk to us. Andy in Lambertville is checking in. Our pal Andy. Hello, Andy.
Hey, good afternoon, gents.
What's going on, Andy?
I'm doing all right. I got to be honest with you. First of all, I want to congratulate you, Mr. Bill Colarulo.
Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it, man.
In many ways, it's a sad day for Andy, right, Andy?
It kind of is because I can't listen. My work day usually, I work in the mornings and then I work in the afternoon. So the 10 to 2 is my favorite time of the day. And I really, really, really enjoy the dynamic. It's like granddad, dad, and son, and you just have all different angles of sports talk.
Son of granddad. I'm granddad. What's a violation? Jesus, Andy.
Mike, hey, it's not a violation. You're not a little, you're not Ray's age.
I'm venerable. Let's put it that way.
All right. You're like fine wine.
Yes, I'm venerable. I'm venerable. Yeah, okay.
No, it's no, I didn't mean that in any
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the dynamic is so wonderful, and I understand. My buddies and I are talking, and we always, Ray Dunn and Bill Colarulo are the two best additions on sports talk radio in the city's had for a long time. And the fact that they were both on the same show with Mount Rushmore Mike was it was just perfect in my mind. But I'll still be, listening to the midday.
Yeah, things evolve, Andy. The way it goes in this business, things evolve.
I know. I just wanted to say, Bill, huge congratulations because I won't be able to commute. Now, who's going to take over in the YouTube chat, checking in on
this YouTube chat? You're right. I don't know about the chat. I don't know what's going to happen in the chat.
Game, Ray.
Ray's got his hands full now. He's going to be working the drop board, the YouTube chat. We'll see.
He's got a lot of things to do, but he can do it. I mean, he's got to move out of his house. All these,
he's got all this
life changes.
All this stressful stuff is happening to Ray.
Hey, you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll talk soon.
All right, Andy. Thank you very much. Appreciate the call. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We had Jim and Drexel Hill, Chuck from New York. We have 3 calls on hold, which will be fun as we to this last 40 minutes of the Mike Missanelli Show in its current form. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Of trade finalized. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Eagles and 49ers finalized the Bryce Harper trade yesterday as the Eagles sent the edge rusher to San Francisco in exchange for a conditional 2026 fifth-round pick that could turn into a fourth-round pick. OTAs continue today for the Eagles with the second practice that is open to the media happening this afternoon. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio already met with the media. You heard that live right here on the Mike Missanelli Show. A lot of conversation about the versatility of Cooper DeJean. Some updates injury-wise, Jai Campbell and Nakobe Dean, not until August for Campbell and a while away for Nakobe Dean. The safety spot, that second safety spot next to Reed Blankenship right now between Drew Makuba, Sidney Brown, and Tristan McCullum, and they're expecting a true competition there. The Phillies open up a 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays tonight with Christopher Sanchez on the mound at 7:07. Zach Wheeler was originally slated to get the start, but he's away from the team as he awaits the birth of his child. The Phillies looking to end a 4-game losing skid tonight as they kick off a 6-game road trip. Noah Cates has signed a 4-year, $16 million extension with the Flyers. This update is brought to you by ExpressPros.com. Tired of feeling alone in your job search? Just one connection, you can find endless job opportunities. That connection is Express Employment Professionals. Visit ExpressPros.com. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
27. Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 Fanatic. We got a big friggin' deal going on. Fanatic's deal of the week is Maurice Pierce. Yep. Same day ride and water park combo ticket at Maurice Pierce was just $70. Now that we've had the official opening of the Summer Shore season, that's a $50 savings per ticket for unlimited rides on 3 piers and both water parks for a whole day. Make the summer unforgettable at Maurice Pierce. Gets his exclusive offer while supplies last at 97.5thefanatic.com/details.
Deals.
/details.
Every time he says details.
Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com/deals.
Deals. There you go.
Deals.
Every time.
Correct.
And then you get to go see where Mike used to spend his summers as a kid.
What?
Down on the Wildwood Boardwalk.
Who?
How funny is that? Mike used to spend his childhood summers in Wildwood. I used to spend my childhood summers in Wildwood, and now Ray is spending his childhood summers in Wildwood.
You know what I did in Wildwood?
What was that? What was that sound?
What was that?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah, sure you do. Certainly you do.
Oh, man.
All right, let's go back to the phones. We got Jim in Drexel Hill who wants to give Bill some advice on sod. All right. Jim. Hello,
Hey,
Jim.
Mike.
How you doing?
Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Mike, I used to listen to you. I'm formerly Jim from Overbrook, but last time I called you was in '96. You know what happened then?
96? No.
Both of you stole the puck. Both of you stole the puck from Chelsea Samuelson. They won the series. That's how pissed off I was.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And we're kind of still there 30, 40 years later, right?
No, don't say that. All you Flyer fans are happy with their progress now. They got a new direction.
No.
They got a new direction, Jim. Just ask Bill.
Mike.
What?
Mike. Listen, I play hockey at 6 a.m. in the morning, buddy.
Uh-huh.
And they ain't got it. They ain't got it.
Do you know that from playing hockey at 6 a.m.?
Yeah. I play 6. I get a 3 a.m., Mike. 3 a.m.
3 a.m. All right. Well,
3 days a week I play.
Good for you. That's good. Good for the blood.
You know what? No, they think that Michkov is going to win. But let's get back to the sod.
All right. Go ahead with the sod.
More important than
Michkov. But I'm going to use this word, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The word is genius. Who used to use that word that everybody loves?
I don't know if anybody loves it, but
I know it's kind of like a funny joke, you know. But here, look, you just got sod. It's June. Who talked you into getting sod in June when it's not going to rain for a week?
Bill's got a story about this.
I know.
Bill's got a story about
I know.
this. Hold on a second.
Thank you, Jim. We reached out we reached out a couple months ago. Now the what we did put in with the sod is a new sprinkler system. So we know it has to be.
You said you took it out.
We took what out?
You said you took out the old sprinkler system, or you just got rid of it?
No, we didn't have a sprinkler system. We tried to get the sod. We tried to get the sod put in about a month and a half ago, and because of the rain, what we were told, maybe this was me being an idiot here, but we were told the sod farmer was unable to cut the sod due to so much rain. They had to wait till the rain stopped.
Oh my God!
Yes, so it just got laid yesterday.
Perfect.
I know. It just got laid yesterday.
That would have been perfect. The rain. You want all that rain.
No,
I know.
You know, too much rain would have killed.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping that. Look, the good news is with the deal that we cut with the person laying down the sod, any spots that burn out will be replaced. So if there doesn't rain and it's too hot and the sod all dies, they got to replace it all.
Yeah.
So it'll be all right. But thank you, Jim.
All right. Chuck in New York. Chuck, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Good afternoon, gents.
What's up, Chuck?
Mike, when you started talking about the big announcement, I was like, are we already in FanFest promo time?
It was a little bigger. It was a little bigger than the Fan Fest, wasn't it?
It was, but it's great news. Congrats, Bill.
Thanks, Chuck.
It's been awesome listening to you guys, and it's been such a good year. You know, obviously, with the birds and everything, I feel like I can't even believe it wasn't a year for you guys. I feel like it's been 2 or 3.
I know. It's hard, but it has not even been a year. 200-plus shows, though.
I know, but it's like the Phillies up and downs to the bird success to the let's just forget about the Sixers, and obviously gentlemen waking up at 3 a.m. playing hockey. You guys have been a great duo.
Thanks,
and,
bud.
Really love it. I want your guys' thoughts on one idea, though. So, with Howie being able to pull off another miraculous divesting of an asset that wasn't performing and getting rid of Bryce Huff, do you guys think that any of that money is going to be used to maybe bring in a little bit of a veteran leadership, like a Von Miller on the D-line or a Justin Simmons in the secondary? Because that's how I feel.
I'm not feeling that. I don't get the vibe of that yet. I think that Fangio mentioned in a bunch of guys who he thinks could really get a step up. I don't know, Bill, you thinking that they're going to go out and get a bigger name?
I
Another
don't.
edge rusher?
I don't, because I think that when you look at how they've gone young on defense, it wouldn't necessarily make sense to bring in. Now, maybe in the edge rusher room, do they go and they get a little bit more depth now that you've traded away Bryce Huff? Not that he was giving you much, but you're just going to need some sort of depth at the edge rusher. But it sounds like it's safety. I had been pushing for Justin Simmons last year. It sounds like now drafting Makuba, and they're high on Tristan McCullum, and obviously Sidney Brown was taken in the third round a couple years ago. I think they're going to let those kids compete.
Yeah, I just think of the Vic Fangio connection between Simmons and Von Miller. But, yes, I mean, it's money that they can spend on extending somebody, maybe Jordan Davis or other things as well. So, it was just a thought.
All right, Chucky.
Listen, again, congrats. Look forward to extending past the 2 o'clock hour into the afternoon show again, and congrats. You'll be missed.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck. Let's go back to the text board. We got text on Bill's shirts on TV.
Yes.
Now they're going to be on TV now on a regular basis.
To everyone texting in this joke, you are not the only one that thought it. We've all thought it. Bill gets to flex every day in HD across the Delaware Valley. People questioning whether or not you're going to go up a size for a T-shirt with the TV.
Yeah, I mean, with the tightness of my shirts, would they have to change the rating of the show?
And you can see, like everyone's like, oh,
First
what's
of all,
your problem with Bill?
You need some new gear.
Well, I'm getting crushed on this shirt today. I thought my shirt today was fire,
a little busy, but
getting killed.
You need to get some new gear.
Yeah, I don't know if I could wear the tight shirts, man. I don't know, but I can't go up to an extra large, Ray. I told you, I'm anti-XL.
You're telling me this whole time you've had a second wardrobe where all the shirts weren't that tight, that you just haven't decided to break out yet?
Well, I knew how much you and Mike loved addressing the tight shirts, so I figured, who am I to stop the content that you wanted to deliver? Who am I?
He's making it very easy not to miss him.
He really
making
is.
it very easy.
Really, these last 15 minutes, I'm going to say, good gosh damn riddance. Let's go to Sal and Ewing. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Sal.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Yo,
Boy,
Sal.
your coaching tree is rivaling Bill Walsh and Andy Reid.
It's got to be better than that. At this point, it's better than Andy and Bill Walsh.
And of all of them, I'm going to say the repertoire you had with Bill has been top tier and top notch. I hate to see him go. My main question, Mike, because I live in the capital city and there's a big radio station here, and their top fiddle guy is running for governor, and then the second fiddle, I hate to say the Ed McMahon type, filled in, and he's just not a top guy. I've heard Bill take over when you're not there, and how's he feel in reference to being the top dog and not the whipping boy? And I'm not saying Stu not. And real quick, Mike, you're heating your attic. You got to get rid of the heat. You're smart enough to know that if it's an inferno up there, you're heating and cooling. Your filter's got nothing to do with the heat in your house. Just FYI.
I think the regulation of the thermostat, it has something to do with it. But that heat upstairs was unusual.
There you go.
I think my exhaust fan maybe has a problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And hopefully you changed your you got your mower fixed, because that's an easy
I did not get the mower fixed. Guess what? It was going to take 6 weeks.
Well, my question to you is, if you flip it over, if you have traction drive and it's in the rear as opposed to the front's real easy. It's just that there's one bolt. You take the
I know, but this is, I'm telling you, this thing is bent, I think, from me going over rough terrain.
No. Again, I'm sorry to see Bill go, because the interplay that you guys had was, like I said, I'm a 40-year listener, and it's just
I appreciate that, Sal. We had a really good groove, and and good chemistry in a short period of time. And I just hope we can continue that and have that on both shows now. All right, 610-632-0975. You want to climb in? Ask us anything, especially now. It's the Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5 Fanatic.
Philadelphia Union Soccer. They play short here. Quick saw.
Oh, 141, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. If you want to climb in, it's 610-622-0975. Say goodbye to Bill. Oh, say hello to Bill, because he'll be on the next show.
Yeah, so we'll still cross paths every day. I'll still come in and bother you and Ray. Because I'll be here early. Look at Ray. Ray's got a little smirk on his face.
Where you think that you're welcome to do that.
Well, maybe not on air.
Like I'm
maybe not on air.
Like I don't know. We're putting the welcome mat out there, but
we're kind of busy here doing a show.
Yeah, Mike and Ray are like, we got 12 more minutes to deal with you, and then never see us again.
No. Trust me, I went as long as I could in that update. It's less than 12 minutes.
All right.
Can I actually say though, now that we've gotten to this point, one, congrats.
Thanks,
excited for you. I will say the people that ask whether or not I hate you, I do not. However, I will say I was able to channel some of the early thoughts I had about you, like who is this meathead taking airtime around here? And I've channeled that into our dynamic over the last 200 shows.
Yes, you have. You've done a good job with that.
I do appreciate you, Ray.
Given the ruse, was it a ruse? That you don't like him.
Yeah.
But deep inside, it might be a little bit of an edge.
There were early feelings that way.
Yeah.
I have come around to the Bill train where I absolutely have really enjoyed working with Bill. So I can be honest with you about that. There were feelings I channeled in early that I was like, what? Who is this guy that just won't shut up about Sirianni?
Who is he?
Who is this guy? But no, it's been a lot of fun.
Well, how's the 2 to 6 shift going to feel about the Sirianni love? We already know how the 10 to 2 shift felt about it. What do you think? You think? Yeah. They want one more.
I guess we got to bring it, right?
They want it.
Sirianni knows how to coach. Sirianni knows how to coach in the city of brotherly love. Come on, Ray. Keeps on winning.
This is all you. This is all you, man.
Keeps on winning.
This is all you.
Oh, man. What a year we had, though.
No backup. Let's say you do it, no backup.
I know it was short-lived because, like you said, it's been less than a year. But you think about what we lived through as a show. An Eagles Super Bowl. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better year together. And then we got to go to New Orleans, and we got to experience all of that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wish the Sixers season was better, but outside of that, we couldn't have asked for more for the year that we had together.
Here's the thing I will say. I'm really happy that you are now a full-time employee.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
A lot of people don't know that you were working on kind of an hourly rate, and now you've gone up to the big time.
Yes, it's been, like you said, I took a leap of faith when I left the legal practice.
You bet on yourself.
And there's been a lot of struggles at times, but let's hopefully it all pays off. And I'm looking forward to, look, people in the YouTube chat, is Bill going to be kissing Ricky Bo's ass for 4 hours? Hell no, man. You think the way I battle with Mike, if Ricky, I disagree with him, I'm going to be battling with him too. So I'm hoping that we can put on a good show in afternoons because I know this show will be very good with you and Ray and whoever becomes that third person. I know this show will be awesome. So hopefully we can continue it through for 8 hours.
Interestingly enough, like my career into sports talk radio kind of mirrors this move for you, because I bet on myself also by taking a 1-year contract and leaving the newspaper business. So it worked out for me, and hopefully it works out for you, because you got many more years to do this. And me, I'll probably die in 2 years. So there's that.
Stop
with that, Mike.
Yeah, stop.
You gotta stop with that.
I'll be in some home in a rocking chair listening. 97.5 Bill Colarulo. Hi everybody, Bill Colarulo.
Hope not.
All right, let's go to Uncle Frank is checking in. We had him yesterday and we held the news from him. Uncle Frank, what's up?
Hey, happy Tuesday, Bill. Congratulations, you are worthy of it.
Thanks, Uncle Frank.
Unfortunately, I'm going to lose half of my content because you're moving up. But, well, more importantly, and this is what I just had to call in. So, my family's been in the olive oil business for a long time. I think if you sing one more time, I would suggest the Witness Protection Program because I got to die.
Hey, they asked for it. I mean, who am I to deny the people what they want, Uncle Frank? I mean, they asked for it.
It's really funny. I watched that last night. The Godfather 2 was on last night. Did you say that?
Was it?
Yeah, it was on last night. You were doing Pantangeli.
Now, every time he sings, I just,
Yeah, and the FBI guys say they offered me a deal. And then Michael Corleone did this, and Michael Corleone did that. And I said, yeah, sure.
It's until he saw his brother.
Yeah, that's when he reneged on the deal.
Right. But yeah, real quick, I was just calling to tell Bill that I always, every time he sings, I twitch.
I don't know. Will you sing on the new show?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Of course he is.
We'll have to see.
Of course he is.
I may not be able to help myself.
It's going to be a good butt-breaking balls show because Ricky will break his balls a lot.
So, Bill, I got one other question. So, I'm your uncle. So, if I'm on the lam from the law,
You got to turn him in?
you're going to help me out.
You got to turn him in? What do you think?
You're going to dig me up.
Uncle Frank comes to you. I just robbed a bank. The authorities are after me. What would you do, Bill? Would you hide him in the basement?
Well, I'd have to find out how much he stole first. What's my cut?
Take a cut.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, if it's $2, you get one. I'd rather you could probably dig me a tunnel to Tijuana. Get out that way.
There you go. Uncle Frank, thanks for checking in. We appreciate it. Back to the text board, Ray. Let's get a couple texts in here before we have to depart.
So Bill keeps talking about the fact he's going to drop in and say hi. We've got a couple of texts. Quinn from New Jersey is the most recent one that wants a crossover at the end of our show leading into the afternoon.
Yeah, they were
show.
saying that on the YouTube chat as well. Bring the crossover back. I guess you used to do a crossover, Mike?
Yeah, but I don't know if it works anymore because of commercial gaps and how you have to station IDs and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll figure it all out. But, yeah, you guys will have to physically keep me out because I will be stopping in when you make me upset. If I'm listening to the show coming in and something gets said, I will be making my voice heard, whether on or off air.
Bill, just listen to Mike.
Yeah. Ray, can you hit the other one for me one more time?
I think that button's broken. Actually, I think it's off the board.
I tell you what, I'm going to be depleted of content just by the Weston Wilson worship alone.
I finally gave in.
All the stuff I used to bust your stones over, now I got to recalibrate. I don't know.
I finally gave in and told you that you were right. I can't believe it. His name is no longer Dub Dub.
I don't know.
Weston Wilson.
Before, give me three things that I was wrong about in baseball. My baseball analysis.
Well, you were wrong last year because you believed in that team.
Where was I wrong?
Well, you believed in that team, and they let you down.
Yeah, but that can happen to anybody predicting.
The biggest disagreement we had, you and I, was I said they're going to put Edmundo Sosa in left field tonight, and you said they would never do it, and you stormed out of here and said I don't know baseball, and then the starting lineup came out, and he was in left.
But how do you take credit for that when it was the wrong move, and they realized it after one game? You can't take credit for that. Ultimately, I was right about it.
He did rob a home run. It is crazy, though. They've never put him back.
No,
they have never put him back.
They saw the same thing that I saw before they put him out there. Crying out loud. That's the thing about me. I see it before it happens.
So you were wrong about that. You were also wrong about your take on bread. Completely acceptable to take it home, and I will stand by that. And Ray, I'll support you on that.
That's fine.
Every day of the week.
Yeah, that's just cheapness.
You were wrong about Nick Sirianni being a goof. Well, Super Bowl winning head coach.
He's a Super Bowl winning head coach, but he still might be kind of a goof, don't you think?
Hell yeah.
I don't know if that goof thing is inaccurate.
Oh man, this show, Sirianni's going to have no defenders on this show anymore because Ray's not a huge fan either.
Well, what am I supposed to do? The guy won a Super Bowl.
He did. We're disarmed.
I'm disarmed.
Listen. We got a couple minutes left. I do want to say a heartfelt, I care about the both of you, and I consider you both really good friends, and I want to thank you both because it's been a great year, and I know I would not have been getting that afternoon show if it wasn't for what we all did together here. So thank you. I care about you guys. You're going to be good friends of mine, even though Ray pretends to hate me. We will always be good friends, and I'm going to miss the hell out of both of you. I really am. 4 hours a day, every day was awesome.
And now I'm getting weepy.
Yeah. But hey, it's not goodbye. See you later.
It's not.
It's kind of a goodbye.
Oh, my God. All right. Man. I don't know what else to say, Bill. Again, it was a hard move that you made. I don't know of any attorney out there who would have been an attorney who had said, I'm going to drop all this attorney thing and try to do Sports Talk Radio.
Yeah, the wife was thrilled.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of hurdles to get past, but you bet on yourself, and you were rewarded.
So
you're going to make some shkadol for the first time.
Maybe we'll see.
Make some shkadol.
We got to put on a good show. So I'm actually hanging for the first hour of the afternoon show.
Oh, you're going to be on the afternoon show?
Yeah, we're going to do a little announcement on that show now coming up. So.
Oh, okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Stay tuned for that. How long are you going to actually talk content, or what are you going to be talking?
I think I'm just going to bash you and Ray for the hour.
Yeah. Also, while we're on this topic, like he's doing the hour afterwards. I texted him. I was like, it would be a good idea if we all, went and toasted to the show. He's like, no, I'm already hanging out with my new guys.
That's not what I said.
Yeah.
That is not what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
I told you I could do. I had the kids. I told you I could do Wednesday or Thursday.
What has been the biggest influence that I've had on you?
What not to do.
He can't even be gracious.
I can say this
what is it?
You brought personality out of Bill.
Yes.
I found out Bill was funny.
I know. I bring out some personality out of Bill.
No, that is the truth.
But that's what I do. I try to grab the best of, and what little was in you, the little kernel that I brought out, and look where it led.
No, you allowed me to show personality, and that's really what I've learned is the way you do a show allows you to show personality, and it's entertaining, and people want to listen for all 4 hours, and that's what I'm hoping to bring day after day.
Well, good luck to you. Thanks everybody for listening.
Oh, you won't see him no more.
We won't see him no more. Bill's going to greater heights. I will be back at this show tomorrow. Everybody have a great rest of the night, and we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Fanatic Sports Update.